Good morning, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, depending on specifically which part of the world you are. And I know today is unusual because it's early in the morning and it's like 9:28 in Indianapolis, Indiana. And normally people know we do not broadcast this time, so I know some people is like they are confused why we are on this time, but the fact that we have our honorable man visiting the United States. So we will have a short interview with him this morning. So we have to first of all test and see if you out there and can hear me. All you got to do is just give a thumbs up and let me know if you can hear me better. So let me see if I can hear myself. Let me play myself. So welcome again to the Logan's Hour. We're ready to appreciate. Let me see here. Let me find myself and listen to myself and see if you can. All right, there you go. There you go. You can hear me. So today we will be in a very short conversation with the honorable man, Honorable Frank Safoko. He representative of District Number 9, Maserado County, Republic of Liberia. He's visiting the United States with His Excellency. Let me say with His Excellency. Look, how did people start to do? All right, he's visiting the United States. I think he and Jefferson Coachy on a special mission. The young city mayor. So today, Mr. Safoko will be here with us, and in subsequent time, maybe hopefully a few days from now, we will be joined by your law mayor, Mr. Jefferson Tamakoji. That will be a real heated one. That will be a very good show for lots and lots of people to come and contribute and ask their law mayor a lot of questions. But for today, we'll be in conversation with the representative of District Number 9, Mr. Honorable Frank Safoko. So most time he said he don't like the honorable title. He loves to be called Safoko. But we will respect that because he earns it. He got the vote from the Liberian people. So for those of you out there who's following us today, share this show. We want you to share the show with your friend and whoever person out there because we want a lot of people residing in the United States who do not know this young, astute intellectual called Safoko. He will be in our studio today, and just to give credit who make this possible, it is one of our friend and brother Joshua K. Powell. Joshua K. Powell contacted me after he had this setup, and he said, "Well, I will have the representative in town, Mr. Safoko. So we would love to have an interview with friend Safoko. So this interview is a joint collabo. If you have been out there and seen the flyer of late, so we have we're gonna be like 5 or 6 um, uh, having this interview this morning. So it's gonna be let me read all the people here, or let me just post it for you to see that. So we're gonna have Papi Emmanuel P, James Akwe, Papi Colley, and James and Joshua K. Power and myself. So it's going to be a very good one for you to watch this morning, because we are all from different political spectrum. So we're not asked the same question. I can say that for sure. And so maybe Mr. Joshua K. Power might side with his lawmaker because he's a sedition. So like I said this morning, Mr. Foko will answer the hard questions because he will be in the hard seat. Because when you look at Mr. James Akwe, he's from
Okay,
okay. So
sorry about that.
just a second, please. All right. So Mr. James Akwe, Mr. Akwe would be and we will have a full team here today. We have a full room. And like I said previously, we have Mr. Foko, who will be here as our guest this morning. And okay, I just wanted to get that straight up because I've been having a little technical difficulties, so that's fine. So, the other you following us out there, want to say thank you for joining us today. Thanks for being on the Logan's Hour, and thanks for joining the other the conversation. And we have the Aqua Show. So we have tons and tons and tons of them who are going to be part of this program this morning. This is going to be a very good one to follow because the Honorable Saah Foko, he's representative of District Number 9. He will be our guest here, as I stated. So watch up and follow and see what happened today because I can rest assure you, Mr. Saah Foko, he's one of those lawmakers who do not shy away from the issues. He discussed the issue as he arouses. So we look forward to having him here. We look forward to having the spirited conversation with Mr. Safoko this morning. And to those of you out there who don't know and wanting to ask more questions to your lawmaker this morning, he will be available. You can ask him those questions you think are necessary for the growth and development of Mama Liberia. Your honorable man going to be here. So this morning we have Mr. Francis Foko as the guest. We will also have studio panelists here today. We will have Mr. James Akwe. You all know the tough talking James Akwe, EFBC1. Mr. Akwe going to be here as one of the panelists. And we have Mr. Emmanuel Pay. Mr. Emmanuel Pay will also be one of the panelists this morning. Tough talking as well. Then we have Mr. Papi Colley. Mr. Papi Colley will be one of the panelists here tonight. Then our lead host tonight gonna be Mr. J. Joshua K. Power Senior. So Mr. J. Joshua K. Power Senior gonna be here. He's gonna be our lead host for tonight's show. But look at me, I just keep saying anyway. Which part of where you are, if tonight fits you, then that's it. I just keep saying tonight, because you know I always broadcast late evening, so tonight, just in my mouth. So, well, we will have the honorable man anytime from now. He will be joining us, but we have Mr. Joshua K. Power and the rest of the team will be joining us first, and we will have a little chit chat before we can have the honorable man in the studio. But as I stated, for those of you who follow us for the first time, this is a John Collibo. This is not just the Logan's Hour. This is Logan Hour is just privileged to be the host on this platform, to host the identical platform on her station. But this program was actually initiated by the conversation. There's another program on Facebook called the conversation, and the lead host for that conversation is Mr. J. Joshua K. Powell. So there you have it. There you have it. So Mr. Powell will be joining us anytime from now. So as we sit back and watch some of Mr. Foko. Okay, so let's see something from Mr. Foko before we can bring in our honorable man, because Mr. Foko will be joining us as a stated. So let's watch one of Mr. Foko previous clip on on when he went to Charlotte. The so first of all, we want to also say a very big happy birthday to our friend and brother, Mr. Heron P. Costa. Today is your birthday, August 6th, 1982. Today makes you 40 years old. So as you celebrate your birthday, we want to say celebrate your grand star, enjoy your day, because they kind of day they can just come out easily. It comes once every year. And as you celebrate your birthday today, friends and family are going to be celebrating with you. Enjoy your new age, my dear brother, because it don't come so easily. It don't come so easily. So enjoy your new age. I know 2 days from now will be mine. You on the 6th, and I'm on the 8th. It is a great, great, great thing to see Leos. We Leo, we don't shy away easily. We are people who go for it. We go for it. Um, we go for it. We don't leave it halfway. Whatever we go into, we succeed. That's the spirit of a Leo. So I want to say, as a celebrate today, Mr. Costa, celebrate and enjoy your day. So let's go to all right. So if you see here, I think I've been posted by Mr. J. Joshua K. Powell. That's the flyer from for today's program from Mr. Safoko going to be here as I stated. So as I wait for the rest of the crew to join me, I just want to show you some of his previous video when he came to the United States, and he was calling for unity in Liberia, and he also called for Liberia in the diaspora to also unite and go back home and help to build their country. Because when I listened to him on one of in Colorado on the Independent Day, he was calling for Liberians to go back home, and I just want to play that for you. So as I cue that right now, I want to say I have Mr. J. Joshua K. Powell in studio. Now he's the lead host, as I stated. He he was the engineer behind this. He instrumented this. He made sure he had all of this in place. He contacted the lawmaker. He had it all set up, and he just contacted me and said, "Mr. Logan, would love for us to have a John collabo." So Mr. J. Joshua Powell, he was the real engine behind this all important thing here. And today, like I said, going to be a John team. Other people who have their platforms will be joining us today. We have Mr. Emmanuel Pay, Mr. James Akwe, and Papi Colley as well will be joining this platform. But tonight, sitting in the host seat will be Mr. J. Joshua K. Powell. So before I play the short video of Mr. Friend Foko, Honorable Friend Foko, I'd love to introduce to you our lead host, Mr. J. Joshua K. Powell, who is the vice president of the Grand Bassa Association in the Americas, Indiana chapter. So he's in the studio right now. So because he's the lead host, I'm just going to just turn him over to you people, and you listen to him before we can get our guests in. So Mr. Joshua K. Powell, welcome. Can you hear me? You're muted, Joshua. Yep, you got it on mute. All right, while we have Mr. Powell trying to unmute, we will just hear from the lawmaker when he went to Colorado. So,
but I think because of the special favor and grace of God, that you were able to select me amongst many other speakers in Liberia.
you are still
let
muted.
me recognize our hard table, everyone who have come to grace this occasion. Let me recognize you. And to our own Liberian sister, Sister Liquida Riggs, I truly recognize you. I'm so proud of you that today you have made us all Liberian proud in the United States of America. I'm not going to go long, just 5 minutes, because I want to be time conscious. I see everybody here today never went more than 3 minutes, but I'm asking you that you give me 5 minutes, please. And I'm just going to talk to you briefly on the topic, the sincere role of diaspora Liberians in the rebuilding of our country, Liberia. One thing I would like to encourage all of our Liberians here today, it is important that we take courage, understanding the fact that our country came from 40 years of civil crisis. We went through 20 years leadership of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who did everything humanly possible to make sure that Liberia is back on the map. And today we have another democratic elected president, President Josh Manawia. But what I'm asking all Liberians for here today is not about who become president for Liberia. It's about how we Liberians decide to contribute in the rebuilding of our country, Liberia. It's not about who become president. It's about what role are you playing in making sure that Liberia become a better place. Today we have Mr. Norman, who went back to Liberia with the many bad news he heard on the social media about Liberia. But he was never deterred. He went back to Liberia, he had courage. And what he saw on the social media or whatever he heard on the social media, he defied everything and went back home. It was completely different from what he heard. Today, Mr. Norman has made impact in the lives of many Liberians by building a school in Liberia that students are attending.
All right, so we will come back. We'll come back to the honorable man, Honorable Saah Foko. We have to first of all bring our team in. We have people coming in the background now. We have Mr. James Akwe, ELBC one-time James Akwe. Well, when people hear him speak, the little children can say, "I know that man, very big, but you can see the man." Now, Mr. Akwe is in Waterloo, Iowa. He's the man who owned the show called The Akwe Show, the famous Akwe Show you hear about on Facebook. That Heron Costa on her program the other day, he was asking Mr. Akwe, "I would love to come by on your show." So I mean, this show is making some headlines around. So I want to say, let's welcome Mr. James Akwe. Like I stated here, tonight gonna be a real interview with the Honorable Saah Foko, because we have our panelists tonight will be Mr. James Akwe, Mr. Emmanuel Pay, and Mr. Papi Colley. And Mr. Joshua Powell will be our lead host tonight. And tonight, trust me, Mr. Foko going to answer all the
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now. You just got unmuted. So Mr. Foko going to answer all the hard questions, because Mr. Akwe coming from the angle of the Unity Party. I'm coming from the angle of being neutral. And Mr. Joshua Power is coming from the angle of the CDC. So we look forward to hearing from Mr. Emmanuel Pay and Mr. Papi Colley. We saw they come from, but I can rest assure you that Mr. Honorable Saah Foko going to be sitting in a real hot seat tonight. He's going to answer all the hard questions. We look forward to you out there, all of the Liberians out there who want to ask Mr. Saah Foko some of those questions, some of the burning issues about Liberia. They just ended Judah 26 anti-protest or counter-protest, or how you call it. You can ask him all of the questions, because he belongs to the CDC as well. He can give his own take about that. So not to just bore you up here, let me just introduce Mr. James Akwe. He in backstage right now. He one of the panelists tonight. So Mr. Akwe, I want to say welcome again to this all joint interview.
Yeah, thank you, and let me say kudos and many thanks to to the rest of the crew and others who will be joining us later, I say thank you very much, Philip Logan, there in Indianapolis. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. James Akwe. Now you heard it. Mr. Akwe is getting all propped up. Anytime you see Mr. Akwe bending, looking on his phone, he's sharing the program as well. So we're asking you out there to also share these programs. Because remember, America have 50 states, man. When you share these programs all over your friends and relatives and loved ones who don't know about the representative and the work that he doing. You know, some people left Liberia since 1989, 1990, 1991. They don't know any of the lawmakers. So share the program. Somebody would love to ask some burning questions. The whole world is a global village now. Once we on live with these kind of programs, people in Australia, Canada, and other parts of the world, they can all become part of this program and ask questions to the lawmaker as well. So we will just turn back to our lead host, Mr. Joshua K. Powell. Then he can just lead us through till we get the rest of the other guys. Mr. Powell, you just got to unmute, and there you have it. You are muted, Mr. Powell. All right. Now we have been joined by Papi S. Colley Jr. So Mr. Papi S. Colley Jr. is in the waiting room. So before Mr. Powell get ready, I'm just going to bring in Mr. Papi S. Colley Jr. to join us. Welcome, Mr. Colley. How are you?
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad to be part of this great panelists, this morning hour of ours here in Columbus, Ohio. How you guys doing?
We are doing pretty good. We thank God. Thank you for another day. You want to just put your phone into a landscape so you can just fit the screen and erase the black side of it? There you go. Thank you. There you go. Mr. Powell, can you put your phone in landscape mode too? Can you just turn your device and see if it's getting landscape? Joshua, you still muted though.
Yeah, man, it's muted. Papi, what's up, man?
All right.
Long time. The Star Radio and Acom. Papi Colley.
So we have the Honorable Rich W. Basigia. He's following. He know normally this program normally come in the evening. So he confused. He said, why this program coming on this morning? Mr. Basigia, I know wake you up on your bed. It's already 9:50. We have the Honorable Frank Foko should be in here by 10 o'clock sharp. Like I said, this morning going to be a real one for Mr. Foko because I can rest assure you, Mr. Akwe coming from the opposition camp, Unity Party camp. So all of the questions from Unity Party have been posted to Mr. Akwe right now. The only person who's going to save Mr. Foko from this problem this morning will be Mr. J. Joshua K. Powell because he's a sedition. He's a sedition, so he's going to be asking some softball question. But I know Papi as well. He's not a sedition, so he's just going to be balanced. So Papi and myself, we are neutral on the program here today.
I'm from the independent perspective.
No, he used to be a sympathizer, but he got frustrated. You know, yeah, he got frustrated.
Papi,
he used to be a sympathizer. I knew that for a fact. He used to be a sympathizer, but he felt frustrated and he crossed carpet.
Oh my God!
Wait, now when being a sympathizer or now when feeling frustrated about the attitude of the current governing system of our country. Like for example, the past oppressor are now the one that are oppressing the people of Liberia. So I'm very much flabbergasted by their attitude. Flabbergasted rich men and women in our country as we speak.
Mr. Powell, we ought to you. We can't hear you.
We're not yet.
Put your volume up. Put your volume up. We can't hear you. Ooh.
Oh, you are muted.
No, he's not muted, but we can't hear him.
Oh.
All right, go on and come back. Yeah. All right. So Mr. Joshua K. Powell going to come back. We cannot hear him right now. So before we will be joined by Emmanuel Pay. I don't know if Emmanuel Pay is going to join as well. But the honorable man is supposed to be here in 7 minutes from now, Mr. Honorable Saah Saah Frank Foko or Foko Saah Frank, whatever it is. He said he don't love to be called honorable. He love to be called Saah Foko. Can you hear us, Mr. Joshua Powell? Mr. Powell, can you hear us? Oh, Mr. Powell looking like he will have a real difficult time this morning. Honorable Joshua K. Powell.
But Joshua is not in Morovia to say he's in Morovia. He having internet issue. What's going on? I hope this is not a deliberate attempt.
Papi, don't start the tension too early. You know Joshua Powell. Okay, now we have Mr. Emmanuel G. P. Mr. Emmanuel G. P. has just joined us. Good morning, my dear brother. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we are.
You are very loud and clear, Emmanuel.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
All right.
So we have all the young guys in studio today. So Mr. Frank Saah Foko coming to the studio. I hope he's coming prepared, because I know the conversation is not restricted to when he visit to the United States. And I know we're going to ask some questions from whatever place we feel necessary for the growth and development of Liberia. So, guys, before we join Mr. Joshua K. Powell, because he's the lead host and he's having a little technical difficulties, I think we'll just go about and introduce ourselves before we can join the host, because the representative will be here in 6 minutes. So we'll start with Mr. Akwe. Mr. Akwe, can you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Okay, so this is James Akwe, and I am right out here in Waterloo, Iowa. This is the west side, a place, and Papi has long said that he's going to come to visit, and he continued to make promises, and I can see him. Yeah, but the real fact is that James Akwe happened to be, and one point in time, an editor there at the Liberia Broadcasting System, right in the newsroom, where he used to visit and see all of the big guys, the Moba Molu, the Carlos Gray, and just think about them. They all used to come over and the rest of it. And we used to have some, tough times, when releases come, and I would tell them, and this is not, news, it's not newsy. This is an announcement, and we used to debate about it, and sometimes we'll still carry it. But we love what we used to do, informing and giving credible and reliable information to the people of Liberia. And later on, we transitioned over on this side after our own graduation from the University of Liberia Mass Communication Department. We transitioned, and later on over to the U.S., where we are today, and sitting pretty well. One point in time, we spent some time in Indianapolis, Indiana, and with Logan and others there, and we migrated from there, and we found ourselves still in a much more bigger and magical place now in Iowa.
That's my backyard. I was
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So we will just go to you, Emmanuel Pay. Let's hear from you, because I know Papi will be back, and Mr. Joshua Powell will be back shortly.
First of all, Mr. Akwe, just to tell you, Waterloo City Rapid, that's my backyard. I live in Iowa for 6 years.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so from Des Moines or the outer region, those are my places I live. But I'm currently in Ohio. My name is Emmanuel Pay. I am the general manager. I'm the studio manager for the Apex One Radio studio here in Columbus, Ohio. I was in Ghana. I did a couple like a newsletter for like my school, the Purdue School, and other different network. I was also a student of Totmaha, as you know, Totmaha. I don't have to explain much, but you talk about Karas Gray, Tour, those are all my mentor. I know all the guys, So but I mean this is journalism, being just an advocate for community. I've been pretty much my passion since I was in high school. So like you said, even whenever they're coming on, he's actually I'm a member of his district. I live. I grew up in GFK, and then got my bell over there all the way to Matadi. So I want to say I'm happy to be here today. It's a pleasure. for you guys, bringing us together to have a great conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel Pate. So let's go to our dear brother, Papi S. Colley Jr. Let's hear from you.
Well, thank you very much, Philip. My name is Papi Savior Colley Jr., a Liberian journalist, born and raised in Liberia, school in Liberia. Later on, have the time do a little bit of travel. Later in 2018, I decided to migrate to the United States. Currently, where I am here with my wife and kids, all our relatives and family, right here in Columbus, and it's great. Journalism, like um, the previous panelist said, it has been one of my passions since I was a kid. Started as a high school press club president, move on, started working for Independent Star Radio. Later on, worked for several other media institutions. Here in the United States, we are transitioned to another profession. Now I find myself in corporate America, specifically work for JP Morgan Chase. So I mean, I'm glad to be part of this discussion and what we are learning in the United States. It is my ardent hope and prayer that one day we can go back to Liberia to be able to domesticate it in our own economy, our own setting. It's great to be part of this great panelist.
Thank you so much, Mr. Papi S. Colley. So we have been joined by the Honorable Frank Saah Foko, Representative, District Number 9.
And let me just
Yep.
add it to the credentials of Papi. And when I was serving as executive mansion correspondent, Papi was a legislative and reporter and correspondent there. And I used to love the story Papi used to cover, the real high one, And I used to admire Papi for his real hard covering of stories. Yeah.
All right.
I
So
mean,
I like that.
on number 8. Thank you so much.
All right. So I'm Philip Logan. I'm the lead host of the Logan's Hour in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I'm grateful to have you people on my platform today. We have been joined by the Honorable Frank Saah Foko. He's been having a little difficulties in trying to connect, but now finally he's been seated now. I can see him in backstage. So before I bring in the Honorable Frank Saah Foko, I would just add Mr. Joshua K. Powell here, who is the lead host tonight. So at least he can introduce who is Mr. Saah Foko before we bring our guest in studio. So Honorable J. Joshua K. Powell, it's also you, sir.
All right, folks. I have a fan in my room. Is it disturbing my background?
You are perfect.
You are perfectly good. We can
Oh,
hear you.
can you attest to that?
Yeah, I can attest to that. You are
All right,
perfectly
good morning.
okay. If you really not okay, I will kneel in on it and tell you no, you are not okay. But you are good. You are good.
All right, Emmanuel. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
All right, folks. Let me say good morning. This is the conversation in collaboration with the Looking Hours, and we're discussing issue that matters to Liberia. Today we have in our midst the Honorable Frank Saah Foko, District Number 9 representative. He's visiting Ohio, Columbus in particular, and that a few days he been meeting with Liberians across whether participating or not. He had a welcome ceremony at my residence yesterday. He met with a stakeholder of our community. Today there will be a town hall meeting for question and answering. So we thought it wise to make it, a more wider to use the airway to ask the honorable of his developmental activities in Liberia and in his district in particular, and what he's doing when it comes to making his district to be, relevant. And so he agreed to take our call and question and answer. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, friend Saah Foko, the Honorable District Number 9 is in our midst. Let's ask our question, let's be civil and deal with the issue. Thank you very much.
All right. So we have been joined by the Honorable Frank Saah Foko. Are you there, Honorable? All right. So I think the Honorable having a little technical difficulties there. I think he's connecting from his phone and he's in his call. So Mr. Power, it's over to you.
All right, so guys, while we are waiting for the honorable, I will advise that we all share this live on our various platform, to give a little leverage, as we go on with the podcast. Like we were saying earlier before I went off the line. Everybody here, there are some kind of media personnel. You might have worked with some media group. So when I have these guys in my confine, I love to share with them with my other colleagues so that we can, make it news to be a little bit good. Uh, I will just we'll just crack it. I think the only two independent people are here. Emmanuel. Emmanuel is actually independent. I'm not sure of James and Papi, level of independence, but I'm very sure of Emmanuel independence. So at least the honorable will have a fair share of the game when it comes to questioning and all that. But on a very serious note, let's deal with the issue. Let's
Yeah.
ask the relevant question: what actually matters to Liberia? Not personal issue that honorable. If you get issue with Joshua, you can call on Joshua show, and ask him a question.
Yeah,
But let's
that's
deal
true.
with district number 9, the
Yeah.
House of Representatives, some of the bill they are passing, on what has been his input. We can deal with dual citizenship, things that matter to current day event.
Thank you, Mr. Powell. So I know the honorable having a little problem with his connection there. So I think now he's sitting pretty good. So probably he's ready to go through with this conversation. So welcome, honorable Frank Foko. Can you hear us?
Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Now we can hear you. How are you this morning? Can you hear honorable Frank Foko? Okay. Whoa. I think he having a little difficulties there. So okay. All right, Joshua. I think the honorable man having a little problem. So before we get to the honorable man, we just go through with some discussions before we can connect with him because I think somebody's there in the background trying to have him better situated. But
All
I
right.
think
So what? Before we go to the discussion, can the guys introduce themselves?
yeah,
And
they
then,
have been doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing
all right,
anyone.
I went through that already.
okay. Yeah. So, gentlemen, anybody can
Okay.
start the ball rolling. Let's discuss current event, maybe.
Okay, the honorable is back. He said he cannot hear us. I don't know what's happening.
So
So
it happened. It happened to me initially. My phone was very low. So what I did, I restarted my phone.
And then you also put it, or you can copy the link and put it in the Google search.
In the Google search box.
Yes.
yeah, put in the Google search. It'll be easy for you, honorable man, if you can hear us. Anyway, let me go to the judges. Judges sent him message privately.
Let him do that. Let him copy the link and put it in the Google search. It will help. It will be a better something audio.
All
Okay,
right,
let me see.
so let's just hit the conversation rolling before Mr. Frank Foko join us. So in Colorado on July 26th, Mr. Foko served as a guest speaker in Colorado, and I heard he
Yeah,
said something in Colorado. He called it on. Okay, I'm gonna mute Mr. Powell.
Yeah, mute him. Yeah.
Yeah, so Mr. Foko in his speech at the July 26 program in Colorado, he called on Liberians to go back and invest. Liberia is suitable that we all can go back now. It's better for us to go back in Liberia and get in more. And he even mentioned some entrepreneurs in Liberia currently. He mentioned Mr. Waterspoon, how he's doing better. And looking at the current situation in Liberia, do you think Liberia is better now and is welcoming to all Liberians from everywhere, regardless of the dual citizenship bill that was just passed?
All right, Mr. Logan. In the
Yep.
first place, let me start
Yeah.
by having input on our discussion or on our statement made by the right honorable. Okay. I cover the legislature, like
Mm-hmm.
my colleague Akut said, brother said as well. You know, when of the legislature, our
Mm-hmm.
country works in three
Okay,
coordinating,
Mr. Jeff, call me.
coordinating branches, three and the executive. Sometimes it is incumbent upon members of the
Just a
legislature.
second, Papi. Let me make sure the honorable can hear us. Can you hear us now, honorable? Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting you now. Yes.
Oh, now you're good now. Welcome to the United States.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's a pleasure, man. I'm glad to be on this platform. And I say thank you to all of our listening audience that I'm here with all
Okay.
these great men, these experienced, great media experts.
Thank you so much, Honorable. So now we have been joined by the Honorable Saah Foko. Papi, we're going to come back to you. We're going to go through the conversation. But since he's our guest tonight, we just give him all of the time to tell us about himself first. Then we can go to our lead host now, Mr. Joshua K. Powell, who will just deal with the Honorable first. Then he can relate to us. Let me have you on mute here, Mr. Powell. All right, go ahead, Mr. Powell.
Folks, let me say good morning, good afternoon, whatever your time is. It is 10:09 here in Rhode Island, Providence. Landed here this morning at 3 a.m. But we could not sleep to make sure that this live is possible. I want to thank every one of you for tuning in. Like the Honorable said, these experienced journalists and media personnel are here to discuss the issue, and I think it's very important that we all come here to discuss issues that matter most to Liberians and Liberia. And who better to ask than someone who is making law, someone who is responsible to discuss issues that matters to us. Someone who is part of the group that said we should have 10 link in the Republic of Liberia. So it's a good thing to have the honorable in our midst, and let's discuss the issue that matters to Liberia. Philip, I'm not behind the computer, so take charge. I have two interviews with the honorable already, so let me give you guys a chance to throw your question in. I will pop in as necessary.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. J. Joshua K. Power Jr. Because the honorable is not seated, he's maybe probably play out. And when we have our honorable people visit the United States, we have all the Liberians from all walks of life come to see them, take a picture with them, and to know their work they are doing back home. So we will just go directly to the honorable because I know we'll not be hosting him here for more than 2 hours. Most will be here for at least an hour, and we can open it up to people who following us to ask questions as well. So, Honorable Saah Foko Jr., we just go to you to tell us who is Honorable Saah Foko Jr. For those following us, I don't know you.
Thank you very much. You see, I'm still struggling. The cord,
Yeah.
the cord is coming in broken. But I don't know whether you guys are getting me clearly.
We are getting you.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm still struggling, I think the most important part is for you to get from me, right? So
Yes.
the one of the most important part, I don't want to be held in contempt. So, like again, by the way of introduction, my name is Frank Saah Foko Jr., and I'm representing the people of Electoral District Number 9, Mosorado County, at the 54th National Legislature. So basically, I just want to express my little disappointment before I continue with this broadcast.
Okay.
I remember about 2 nights ago and yesterday, I had an interview on my brother platform for which we were trying to find a way forward. We're trying to find a way forward as to how Liberia can be better. And I'm not an extraordinary human being in this position. Doesn't in any way means that I am the best. Doesn't in any way means that I have all of the ideas. I believe in my mind with the collective ideas of every one of us, Liberia can be a better place. That is how I think.
And I think in my mind, that is the best way to go. And I don't know which one of the show last night that also follow Powered Senior Broadcast. And this dude went to misinterpret me last night. It's just all in Liberia that I came to do Dollar Rally campaign to go and build a library in Liberia. So we don't know where our journalists are heading. We don't know, because we all were making different analysis. And I brought an example and I said, for example, if we in the diaspora or anywhere in the world could just agree to contribute $1 every year and select a particular project in Liberia. For example, we said this year we are going to help JFK. Next year, we are going to build a library. This other year, we are going to, we look for where the problems are in Liberia. And then we start to initiate those projects. And we could also have a symposium, with national government every year. And so that we can also contribute from the diaspora with our idea as to how we think Liberia should be. And my question here was about, we all now should put our political differences aside. We should put Liberia above our political parties. We should put Liberia above our personal interests, and let us all make Liberia, what we want Liberia to be. And in order to achieve that, no single government can achieve that if we don't come together collectively as people. That is just my idea, because to where we are, we see Liberia being so divisive. That's the fact. Whether you like me or not, we realize in Liberia, if this person does not support Party X and Party X wins election, this person does not want to support that person in any way to achieve, forgetting to understand that if Party X fails, Liberia fail. And by extension, you as an individual, no matter where you find yourself in the world, you also fail, because you will go back home tomorrow, you will want to see street lights. You will go back home tomorrow, you will want to ride on 4-5 lanes road. You will go back home tomorrow, you want to have a better internet. You will go back home tomorrow, you want to have better security. You will go back home tomorrow, you want to see a better health care. You want to take your children back home. How will you take your child to the hospital when there is no system? How will you move in the street when there are no system? So this issue should be about everybody business. And one thing I want to admit here, anybody from Liberia, including the president, His Excellency, will not tell you that Liberia does not have issues. There are challenges. There are many problems. But what can we do? Should we continue to present our country to just say it and we just criticize everything? I said, no, that's not the best way. The best way now is for us to sit around round table. Like I visited the US yesterday, I sat with some stakeholders in Ohio, and we had a better conversation as to how Liberia should be. Those challenges that have been observed by some Liberians in the diaspora and the way forward were discussed yesterday, and we took down notes. When we go back home, we'll be able to sit with our colleagues and we discuss the issues that affect Liberia. The economy is challenged, yes. We also have experts in the United States and other parts of the world. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? So we basically just need to come together as people to make this work.
Thank you, Honorable Saah Foko. Now you hear from the firebrand lawmaker. His intro is on fire. And I can see all the panelists just like, we are ready to start hitting him now. So I will just go to Papi. I can see from Papi's expression that he want to ask you a question right now, Honorable. So we'll go to Papi. From Papi, we'll go to Mr. Akwe. Then we'll come back to my brother Emmanuel Pay. So Papi, go ahead with your 2 questions.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Frank Saah Foko. Like you talk about going back home to be able to invest, and tomorrow we want to return home, especially people in the diaspora. You want to see street lights, you want to see proper security, you want to see quality school. Maybe, for example, if you have kids here like myself, you want maybe one summer and say, you know what, this school year you're going to spend in Africa. The first thing for us in the legislature, what are some of the bills or resolutions you guys have drafted in order to because, for example, it has been a long call when Mr. President took over. Mr. President told diaspora Liberian in a conversation at his Jamaica resort that it is about time to come home. But there have been a lot of insecurity. How can you more assure through pieces of legislation from your office that you have introduced on the floor that can assure diaspora Liberian that it is time to go home?
Okay, so thank you. Like I said, my concern is the way forward. And I have been a member of the 54th National Legislature for the past 1 year, 30 months. And I met the bill that was introduced by Honorable Akaros Gray that has to do with the dual citizenship. Okay. So when I look at that bill while I was outside, I have been one person who believed that our brothers should come back home to also contribute to our national decision making. And when that bill was on the floor, I'm on record for supporting that bill, because you cannot absolute our people who came in the diaspora. You know, you cannot get them off our decision making, because those people only came to see greener pasture. So they were not in any way wrong for coming here. Many of them have come here, they have learned, they have different ideas, they have been upgraded. They want to come back. Some of them attend a different institution. They are experts in different areas. Some of them want to go back home to invest. But the issue of security into their investment has been a problem, because there was no security because of the lacking of dual citizenship. So because of that, I was one person who joined Honorable Akaros Gray and others lawmakers to make sure that we pass this bill. So that is one of my contributions. I also supported the dual citizenship. So that has to do with incorporating our brothers from the diaspora. So one of the bills that I have supported in Liberia, basically the one that has to do with free education. But this has been my concern about the free education. My concern about the free education is how do we sustain this bill? I mean, how do we sustain this start of life as a government? Even if President Weah leaves, he served for 6 years, for 12 years, and he leaves tomorrow. How will the next government sustain? So what we need to do from the legislature is to make sure that we do everything humanly possible, do just part of the good work behind the scene, know how government can sustain this identical bill that are going to be introduced into and then pass into law. So I realized the issue of education since after the civil crisis in Liberia has been one of the problems. I realized that. So in order to solve the country problem, there are many other problems we have in Liberia. But having you from the diaspora being incorporated into our decision making, I think it's a good thing. It's a best way forward. So I also did that. And then on my own, which bill have I introduced? Okay, so I have 2 bills on my agenda, and I have introduced one of those 2 bills. The first bill here has to do with the first bill here has to do with the piracy bill that has to do with having a copyright law that are going to protect our musicians, that are going to protect our book writers, that are going to protect our movie actors, because the economy cannot grow when you don't have all of these different areas being active. The reason now you see everybody just want to work in government, because government now has become the largest employer in the country. So everybody wants to work with government. So when you have all of these small sectors being active, obviously, bro, trust me, some people don't care. God gave people in different areas. Right, but now everybody now who graduate from high school, the next thing they think about, they want to be representative, they want to be senator, they want to be minister, they want to be president, which is not bad. There is no country that will develop without having all private sectors or different sectors being active. So everybody going to go into their area of specialization to make sure that it happens, right? So I also intend to introduce our bill. We just did all of the background work. As soon as we open, you're going to see that bill on the floor. So the next one here has to do with our motorcyclists we have in Liberia. You may like it or not, right? Motorbike. I was once a motorcyclist. I rode motorbike to graduate from high school. I rode motorbike to also help my family. My brothers and sisters were surviving on the motorbike that I was riding in Monrovia to graduate from high school. I was also a taxi driver while I was attending the University of Liberia. So what I'm saying now, when you realize in Liberia, the motorcyclists are more than the cars. I mean, the cars drivers in Liberia. And we have the tricycle, we have the motorcycle, right? And those guys, there is no specific institution that is governing them. You when you go to Pennsylvania, you see Pennsylvania Union, they got their own rules and regulation. You go
Yes,
to Buchanan, they got Buchanan Union. You go to ERW Junction, they got ERW Union, and all the different sectors. So what I'm saying here, they need to come back. Yeah.
Yes. Let me just come in. If you say there is no institution, then what happens to the Liberia motorcyclists union? I remember the current assistant minister at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Robert Sami, was the president when I was in Liberia, and we worked with him on numerous and countless occasions. What happened to that institution? Is it dead?
Okay, Chief. So this is where I'm driving. We have the Motorcycle Union of Liberia. But I want you to do background investigation. When they set up that union at the time, the union got divided because there was no law that instituted that union. There was no law that you cannot, there was nothing specific that was actually governing that union. So my point here is we have them in different unions. We have them in different sectors. We have them being operating in different ways. So when government want to, and they are not contributing, to the economy, and they are not also benefiting directly from the economy. So what we want here, we want to have a law like the way we have the Liberian National Student Union, the way we have FLA, the Federation, the way we have the Liberia Marketing Association, and we have those different institutions that are governed by law. We also want the Motorcycle Union in Liberia to be governed by law, so we can have a specific regulation that will be on the book so that they can be on record legally for their establishment. That is my point.
All right, Papi, your next question.
Yeah, I mean, I still want us to talk a little bit around this whole motorcycle transport union that you talk about. You need a regulation as it relates to their well-being, which is very good. I guess those institutions, like for example, I made mention of Minister Sami. Minister Sami is within the regime. These are people that I think the current leadership of our country can work with so that they can be able to set up a way far or a complete roadmap that can lead them. So are you guys are the government coordinating specifically from the Ministry of Transport? And
oh yes, we did that. Yeah, we are working with Ministry of Transport. Even before we could introduce that bill, we called a stakeholder meeting. And then we all sat behind the scene. We have worked on it behind the scene for a very long time. I met them working on this. And we all sat behind the scene. We worked on it. Even the day we're launching it, right? We also introduced, we invited the national government and the Minister of State. The minister was present. And Transport Ministry was also present. And all other stakeholders that have been involved with the regulation of our motorcyclists, including the police, were also present. So this is a collective issue. It's not just me. We are working behind the scene with everybody. I'm just the one who is championing it at the legislature, but there are other champions who are in the back, that are also contributing to this process.
All right, Logan, I think.
Okay, go ahead with your follow-up.
I'm going to hold with my next question, and let other panelists ask. I will come back.
All right. So thank you, Papi. So we'll go to Mr. James Akwe for his 2 questions.
Okay. So and Saah Foko, let me take the time out to thank you first for your appearance. And this is James Akwe, and formerly I reported for the Liberia Broadcasting System, and also being, one point in time a student there at the University of Liberia. I don't know your position on the recent media and fracas when it comes to the brutality meted out against students of the University of Liberia. Of course, we're talking about super, so I technically do not know your own standing, but I guess from the way I hear you speak or talk, I would want to somehow believe or think that you might be coming down and maybe condemning it, and the rest of it. And that's what we all and should technically, should be able to do. But I'm a bit concerned about, some and like $30,000. I mean, that usually goes to members of the lower house. And how did you, arrive at this and the rest of it? And what do you do when such amount usually lands within your own account or so? Because we have to be mindful here. We all know the three cardinal functions and responsibility of a lawmaker, also to be lawmaking, oversight, and representation. So, and looking at, such amount that usually come about, 30,000 is just a big one. That's a huge sum. So let me put it to you. What is it personally, that you have done or you, continue to do when it comes to helping, Liberians, especially within your district, and in tackling a number of other issues? Because you spoke of, of an economy that is also not good, and that I also love what you said when you said, I'm just rubbing across, a number of issues that you can get make a comment. I also love what you said when you said, and we should put, Liberia first, above our personal interest. And I want to buy into that. We should put Liberia first and above our personal interest. That's how we're going to move forward. But what do you do usually when you get like $30,000, and that's a huge amount, even here in the U.S. So I want to put it to you. I want to know what is it that you have personally done when it comes to receiving $30,000. Let me stop there and listen to you.
Okay, so basically, I don't know whether you have followed me, but I'm the only representative in Liberia. Though there are other lawmakers who frown at that, but on record for having a press conference, when I just entered the legislature, I was like a 2 months old representative. And I admitted, I came out and I said, yes, at the time, we received that, and I had a press conference based on the public okra, right? Yeah. And I went against that publicly, and I had a press conference, and I spoke against that, and I was one person who supported the Senate for them getting that money out of the budget or supporting them for that route of the 30,000. So I'm on record for that. If you ask what is my contribution, I went against it publicly and openly, and I said no to that. And I still stand today to say no. And then on the issue of the University of Liberia, yes, I attended the University of Liberia. I graduated from there. I'm a member of SOUP. Even of recent, the SOUP anniversary, I was part of SOUP when we paraded the streets of Monrovia, for which we left from Broad Street, passed on Camp Johnson Road, passed in front of the executive mansion, and we went back on campus. I got my brothers, I got my sisters, I got my friends, and I still have people and myself who sat in, we did courses together. For some reason, they are still around at the University of Liberia. Even just of recent, the kind of renovation that is going on campus, I'm the lawmaker who wrote the University of Liberia administration, and I invited them on the basis of the state, the form and manner in which the condition of the University of Liberia was very deplorable. It was bad, and the infrastructure was kind of very ugly, right, for our modern day education. So I wrote the university, I condemned the act, I wrote them, and the University of Liberia administration, the Ministry of Education, they were invited to that meeting, and they told us what their challenges were. So we were able to work on their challenges. We communicated with the finance ministry. They were able to make some money available. And today you see the massive renovation that is ongoing at the University of Liberia. Is it the best? I would say no. Is the government doing better? I would say yes, because the government acted when we wrote, and today things that were not there, we can find those things there, and the university is receiving a facelift. So my new concern here now, the campus on Capital Bapa is very small. We cannot use that as our main campus. We can just use that for central administration. I'm looking at government getting involved with doing new infrastructure adding to what is at Fendel so that we can be able to transfer our campus to have a modern day where students, you will have library, you have computer lab, you have science lab, and just everything, right? So that has been my contribution. The issue about the recent violence that went on, I have said it on many shows. I called to Liberia. I condemned the act. I joined the president to ask the national police and also the justice system so that they can act to this effect. I have never in my life, even outside this position, I'm not on record for being into violence in any way, anywhere, and anytime. So I condemn it, and I look forward to the police conducting her investigation.
Yeah, thank you,
Honorable Saah Foko.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead, the second question.
Yes, thank you, Saah Foko. Okay, let me just come up with the next question. You spoke of investment, and I also listened to you that comment, from Colorado. What can you say? Because if investors would be encouraged to come or move into the country to set up businesses where they'll be able to employ other people, and as a result of what? Of things, they really see. For example, if you see maybe like state security, if state security will move on individuals like maybe going to a nightclub, shooting in a particular nightclub, engaging into acts that are inimical, or maybe like the recent protest, what do you think? How, are these acts definitely going to encourage people to come to invest into the country? Because we can't look perfect to do it all. So what can you say about that? Because sometimes you hear about issues with state security, shooting and the rest of it into areas, rape, and when it comes to the rule of law, where justice is not being dispensed and freely and fairly, what can you say about that?
So like I said,
yeah,
there are issues.
Yeah,
that's the fact.
Yeah,
there are challenges. That's a fact. What can I say about it? So what I'm saying about it is, we agree that things are happening, and sometimes I want to say to you, sometimes they form a manner in which the people exaggerate the issue of security in Liberia. I was just laughing the other day in December when most of my friends that I personally encouraged to come to Liberia and see the way we operate, they were there during this gone December, during the bicentennial, and many other Liberians that I don't know personally, they were also there. And the way Liberia was presented to the international community and some of our brothers who have not visited home for a very long time, it was far different from what Liberia is now. So what I'm saying to you, I'm not saying to you, people protest, but what we need to do is the government needs to invest more into security, needs to increase the salary of security into the country, because once the country does not have sufficient and professional security, it becomes a problem. So it's something that we all need to work on. It's something that we all need to work with national government to prioritize and increasing the budget of our national security from all sectors, do more recruitment so that we can have security around the place. Because those things, no matter how many security you have in the country, there will always be people to cause problems. There will always be people who will want to cause instigation. So we are not saying that those things are going to be eradicated 100%, but we also need a security that's going to put measures in place. There are people who are going to go there with investment. Their investment going to be protected. Our brothers who are going to leave from here to go back home to work, they're also going to be protected.
Okay, Jeff, I beg you.
Okay, follow up.
Just a follow up to this. On the issue of dual citizenship, Saah Foko. You pass it into law now. It left the lower house and gone to the Senate.
Oh yeah, that is a history already. That has been done. The Senate concur with all the president has signed it.
Yeah, it comes with a caveat. It comes with a caveat that in as much as you are a dual citizen, you cannot run for the House of Representatives. You cannot run for a Senate position. You also cannot be a Minister of Finance. You cannot serve as governor of the central bank. You cannot serve as a Minister of National Defense. Why was it? I don't know. What were you looking at and the rest of it? What can you say about that?
So we are just looking at those few positions. Yeah. I'm still looking at future amendment that those things need to be considered. But I think we need to embrace this, because there are many other good things that are also in that bill that was passed into
Yeah,
law.
that's true. Good
So,
things are there. Yeah. But you
yeah,
can't
so
be a
in
lawmaker.
subsequent time,
Yeah.
a law is made, and it is not static. So as time goes back, we can basically do some amendment as to how we want, those things to happen in Liberia. So I would like to come back to you. I will come back to you briefly. I have some Liberians here that really want to talk to me, and I told them to excuse me for a short time, and I will definitely come back on this broadcast, please.
Okay, Saah Foko.
Thank you. So we have the honorable man going to deal with some Liberians who I think he at a popular area right now at a park.
Yeah. No, and we can understand that.
Yeah, we're ready to understand.
Joshua we can understand that. But Joshua is muted.
Joshua, you are muted, and I could really tell that the questions were coming from all angles, and I could really tell that the representative were getting into a very hot seat because Papi, Papi were on fire, and my brother Emmanuel Pay, he was in the background waiting to come and burn here as well. But we hope that he join us as soon as possible. But Emmanuel, come in. You wanted to come in? Let me say, Emmanuel, Papi, you want to say something?
Yeah. Though Joshua has brought out to not be independent, but we coming from an independent perspective this time around. Though we might have affiliation, but our affiliation does not honor our professionalism to be able to ask the necessary question that will be able to bring out the best answer. Like if you read from our feed on the Facebook feed, we have a couple of other the Right Honorable Risk Basi guys. Asking for amendment. The whole thing about the motorcyclists being integrated within the system. There are limitation from the Ministry of Transport, and the legislature or the government needs to do a lot more. A lot more. Like for example, the honorable talk about this whole thing about the dual citizenship. I see people celebrating it. So, for example, I'm not an American citizen. Why, if I become an American citizen, I get all the expertise here? I work for one of the world biggest institutions. So,
you can be finance minister.
Yeah, with that kind of capacity that I have, born in Liberia. So, meaning you're going to disenfranchise me of serving as central bank governor or contest within my district.
Yeah, that's how you know law. You can't be central bank governor. You can't be finance minister.
Like he said, they need to do a lot more amendment to this whole legislation. You cannot be able to just look at certain people and say, oh, because you're American citizen, you can't do that. Okay, with that, I would choose to say I'm not an American citizen. It's up to you to go make the research. But the fact of the matter, I have the capacity, I will have to serve. I will have to serve. And this is what making America great. America include everyone. If you see the military, if you see the other sector, at the end of the day, if we continue to do this, at the end of the day, we disenfranchise.
Yeah, so I'll come to you right away, Manuel, right after Papi. Yeah, Manuel has been quiet for a little while.
So, we need to discuss a lot more with this situation or with this legislation that will pass. Granted, I can go back to Liberia if I'm an American citizen now. I can go back to Liberia with my 2 passports, but that 2 passport is just a mere charade. So I think the Right Honorable needs to come back. When he come back, he needs to answer more questions to that. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you so much, Papi. So Emmanuel have been quiet for some time. So Emmanuel, what do you make of what all the representatives have just said?
Look, I know I say I've been quiet in the background, but let me just put it in this perspective, right? We are Liberian, okay?
Yeah.
Not to what it call. If there's a guy named Lester Pay, he's a former representative from the district in Bon County, but he's actually a family member. There were a lot of friends in this thing. The motive, like what Papi was saying. The motive is not it's not a justifiable motive of what this law says when it comes to restriction on running for position. They will tell you off the cuff, man, you're not going to come here and take our job. You know what I'm saying? So is that the reason why? Because first of all, look at the remittance. Back in 2019, Liberia had the highest remittance among any diaspora, let's say, people. We send more money home. But how did the remittance that Liberia gets, from every part of the world, the government will crash. I can tell you that part, right? So what are we getting from there? What are our benefits? When I say benefit in terms of, you're not welcoming us, you want to point in a box, but still you need our money, you need our support, you need our expertise. That doesn't add up. It don't work together. You are not going to say, okay, that's why Liberia go one side. We don't want to deal with you guys. We can run our country by ourselves. Or you're going to say, as a Liberian, what the brother said, he's a Liberian. He was born in Liberia. There's not a difficult way to determine who the Liberian is. If you want to be fake, we're gonna tell that you're not a real Liberian. We know that process. So there's a system put in place to screen those who might be try to what they call the process. But at the end of the day, there should be an open door for everybody in government, whatever you want to do. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know where the fear coming from, but like the brother said, they are still work to be done. I know everybody happy say, "Oh, I do this shit, whatever." I read the whole thing. I read through a lot of the process. I know there's a step, everything. There's a beginning of that, But my opinion, because if you see what the government benefit, government benefit from remittance from Liberians who are in the diaspora, we need something. We need some appreciation and some respect. Because I'm gonna say here, I raised a business in Liberia. I had to go put a business in my cousin's name because why? I did not have my Liberian passport at the time. I left it here, and then they gave me all kind of run around for almost 3-4 days up to a week, and I had to go put my business in my cousin's name. Even though I've been one of the person who I supported in from the entertainment sector in Liberia to the political sector, I supported my country 100%. So what do I gain from that?
Yeah,
that is my concern.
That's a real concern. That's a real concern. I hope the lawmaker join us to address some of these concerns because, like we all saying here, like the dual citizenship bill, and the lawmaker spoke on something that I wanted to really ask him. The question about the country getting lawless, counter protester, and everybody have getting involved into this militancy. And how can we stop that? And the lawmaker said institutions. He also agreed with the president, and he condemned the act of people normally coming out to go out with protests were all being authorized by the referee authorities. But my question to him when he joined us, I would stay asking this question is, what do you say about this thing that everybody want to be wearing beret and t-shirt and show some militancy?
Yep. Yeah.
To prove that we are powerful, because all of these things gave rise to what is happening now. All of these smaller groups coming up with Beret, and I even had his own picture that I wanted to display to him here. What do this represent? Because if we empower, yep, come in.
Please, I beg. Let me make a point on that. I'm not cutting you, right?
Let me see that picture, please.
Yeah.
Let me
wait. Let me see the photo, please. Logan, I love that.
Before I forget my thought, right? Let me just put it this way to you, okay? I'm in the U.S., right? I'm in the U.S. Army. Okay, I had different career, including 35 series, which is intelligence, right? What you saying? That's a very, very important point, because optics can easily create instability without you knowing that it's creating instability, right?
It's true.
So all these little people running around, anybody can wear a beret, wear a uniform, and get on the street and say we are militant, we are this, we are that, whatever. Those are the things that can easily draw us back to what we never want to be again. And that should be something very, very important for the government to look at. You talk about security. Trust me, I know a lot of professionals here, like professionals in America here, who have partners. That's what the boss said, corporate partners. Do you think I'm going to take my money and put it in Liberia, and knowing for a fact that I'm not sure that I got guarantee or security to my money or my investment? It's not going to happen.
Way.
So sometimes the government not just hurting the public, hurting themselves, because these are the things that you need to critically analyze and protect, so that the outside world can say, you know what, I'm safe to go to Liberia and invest.
Yeah.
I must tell you that part. I got a lot of people who want to go to Liberia and invest. But when they look at these videos, when they look at the optics, they be like, is it the place you want me to go buy land to build this, whatever, or this is a place you want to go do this? The whole bite. So as much
Yes.
as we want to put our ego there, say, oh, I'm a militant, you wear me the beret, you don't even know what that means. You don't even know the funny part about it. Look at the position, how they wear the beret. Look at how they wear it.
Yeah.
Then it's laughable. People laugh at us. I got friends who are in the army here, who are from different sectors. When they see the kind of image, they laugh at you. It's embarrassing, to be honest with you. It got nothing to do with development of the country. It got nothing to do with uniting the country. It got nothing to do with bringing us together. You want to display to intimidate people? It don't work out like that, because at the end of the day, war or fight, nobody wins. Nobody
It's
wins.
true. It's true. And you are right. I agree with you, because no good money want to go into a bad environment.
Yeah, Logan, like,
Yep. Go ahead.
at time during the Lofa County senatorial by-elections, like we see the ruling establishment having group of women, men, young people, all wearing khaki and a beret with the name CDC Response Unit.
Yeah.
Predicated upon that, recently we saw representative the representative for district number 10, Representative Yeke Tuba, coming up saying he's launching opposition response unit.
Yep.
What are we headed? Where are we going as a country? And the president is on record of saying, in fact, if you cost me, today will be the last day.
Yeah.
I will definitely come for you. And this.
Yep.
And the president forgets to know that the Constitution is very clear on it. The president cannot sue. He cannot be sued while in office. So what happened to the legal team? Are the legal team providing the president the needed legal advice so that they are just sending statement the president cannot make in the public? But with that, we see it as governance. Mr. Jefferson Koji is on record that in fact will be protector of our peace. We'll do all we can with our blood and flesh. We assemble to wherever they will assemble.
Yeah.
This is scary. I have a friend of mine who went to Liberia with little over 100,000, right? To invest in a entertainment and entertainment industry, as well as hoping to go into the insurance sector. The central bank pull up a gallon, they ask the man, bring this, you have to have a bank balance of this. The man even had above the bank balance that the sector were requesting for. But up to now, they have not granted him the license. All because they said, "Someone ball, where you get your money from?"
Look at that.
If the great United States where the man live does not have problem with his money, because somebody sitting at the central bank feel that, oh, this man should not be in this sector at this time, why will we be so? And he has countlessly, like for example, his entertainment center at Nizo or in Peaceville, it has been attacked. The police have called. Then I said, "Mr. Papi, what kind of do we have?" I went to Liberia. I employed over 600 young people. The least that people make at my entertainment center, they made $250 a month, which we know is an NGO salary in Liberia.
Yeah.
You must find yourself within an NGO cycle to be making 300 or 250. The manager of that place, the manager made $450, and he gave the manager a Lexus Jeep. You want to know the story of the Lexus Jeep? The gentleman was brave to cross the car over to Guinea and sold the car, and the car lost.
Oh wow.
That's Liberia for us.
That's horrible.
That's Liberia. The man bought a very big KVA generator and placed it there. Security that money at the end of the day, the generator were removed. Something like when you screw, it was stolen. Are you not frustrating this man investment? Then the police saying, "Oh, when you find, we'll give you our number. When you find a criminal, call us." Can you imagine? How does that sound? How does that sound? And
that's true.
The president,
you see, Papi,
the man just going to test the system. Imagine Imagine you got frustrated in a manner.
Where Papi?
Go back there.
You know, Papi, I mean, just as you're saying, you know, I mean, Gian brought out about, you know, about the economy, you know, Joshua Power, you know, who is monitoring and watching now and set up this entire thing, would not want to have such establishment in Liberia in chaos, in noise, in confusion, where people will be moving, and, you know, head is scattered. And, you know, there's a litany, there's the avalanche of chaos, of confusion, and the rest of it. And I agree with him when he said government is the lead, you know, employer. That has been the case. How can we stop that? How can we, you know, expunge that? We all need to work together, all hands on deck, to ensure that the country is somehow very peaceful, so that people who have the money, that Joshua Power, who has a little investment and want to go there to invest his money, will not be able to only employ sedition. No, that he will also be able to employ people from Unity Party and cut across. And, you know, that my brother Emmanuel Pay and Federal Logan will want to maybe set up a particular studio there and along the Rockefeller Highway, and, you know, where he is. But he would never want or wish to do that. I mean, in flame, in fire. The place will have to be very much, and, you know,
you are right.
For everyone, for every one of us. You know, you can have the president of a country coming out to say you will not walk the street of Bolivia peacefully when you insult, and, you know, and the rest of it. No, you can't say that. And just as Papi said, I don't know who are those, you know, that provide advice or the advices or so to the leadership. And if those advices are provided, do they in fact listen? Do they in fact listen to those advices?
All right, go ahead, Emmanuel. Go ahead, Emmanuel. 2 minutes.
Think about a simple logic, right? Everyone here got a job. Something they call organizational structure and culture.
Yeah.
When the structure and culture of an organization or institution, it have been tested, like what happened in this country during the political setting. If it wasn't strong enough, this country was going to civil war. But the institution here, the structure, the culture of the institution, the structure of the institution was so strong that nothing that it didn't go to that point. To just add to Papi, what Papi said, my nephew worked with Pfizer. Pfizer is one of the largest pharmaceutical company in the world, right? We have a team of professional pharmacists who came together to go and open a pharmaceutical company in Liberia so that they can cut down the cost of drugs. This boy have a license from the FDA in America. He been approved in this country. When he got there, they opened a setting, right? The man called Lucky, the man who owned Lucky Pharmacy. The boy, it took us a year to get a license and everything in Liberia, to pay all the money, right? But we didn't want to call no corner. When we finally open the store, guess what happened? Lucky came and visited the store. The next minute, you see police officer coming to inspect drugs. Police officer, not the drug enforcement, not the DEO, but police officer coming in the store to come and inspect drugs. What? I want to see all the drugs I got here. Think about that. And we asked them, we say, are you guys from the DEA? They said, no, they are police officers. They are police officers. How would you explain that to people who want to invest in that country? So the culture and the structure of the country is so, and not just to be fair with you, it's not just about George Weah, not because CDC is in charge right now. That
I agree. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those are some of the things that the government itself or the lawmaker got to look at those kind of things, and complaint have been fired against a lot of people over there, but because they got connection. There's an employee of Lucky Pharmacy who work right now. They met us, let me tell you something serious. I've been here for the past 10 years. Nobody has ever come and spent any drugs in a particular store. Because why? When they come in, they already got money, they already bribed them already. They come and walk around, they sign the paper to go. And they got expired drugs that have been sold in Liberia who are dying from those kind of every sector is affected. So when the government come in power, they say, oh,
let me just weigh in on a topic. And in all fairness,
Mm-hmm.
It is a Liberia problem and not this regime problem.
Yeah.
No,
And
Okay.
no, no, no.
until we
That's what. No,
realize that it is not the
but the
regime
regime, when you
problem,
mention about it, the regime mention about it.
yeah,
The regime
yeah,
can fix it. The regime
I,
got the power to
I
fix it. Know what I'm saying? I didn't say
yeah,
it's a
I
regime
agree
problem. I'm
with
not saying
you.
that.
I agree with you, and I'm one of the person who have been speaking on system working. You see, in developed country, no matter who is the representative, senator, or president, the system works for everybody. Most of us here don't work for government, but we work because of the system is functional. Unlike in Liberia, the system is not functional. So how in the world you will see police men want to inspect drugs when that is not his area? That's why when you call 911, they ask you, what is your emergency? How can we help you? Because they cannot send police men when there's a fire outbreak or when there is a drowning situation. But in Liberia, everybody can do everybody work, and which is a very bad thing, which we need to curtail. And if we don't, is a generation or something. There's a there's a law in Liberia called normality. And normality is something that is wrong, but we accept to do it, so we make it right. Say for instance, lawmakers say they want to drive on the opposite lane because when they get late for work, nobody should stop them. And that's been happening for Christ on how long? You want to go to work 8 o'clock, you leave your house, you leave your house 7:59. Then you want to get on the opposite lane. And
And
it's
they
a
put it
normal
into
thing.
law.
And
Yeah,
Jairo, it's
yeah,
not on the war for Marvel. It is
It's
being crowned within their statute.
yes,
yeah.
It is within their statute.
No, it's wrong. It's
yes.
very, very wrong. So those things need to be stopped because when they come to this country, they come to a developed country, they see how the law works. And my most annoying is they see lawmaker, yes, he will be making idea, putting thoughts together so that the people will benefit and our own they don't do it. Those are the issues I have with Liberia system working. Because your brother a police officer, police may put what you call your brother. Then your stupid brother will be brave enough and say, get a food to the policeman. That is a shame. It's a shame.
But
We should stop those things. You
that have
know?
been an
How
age
can
old
you
problem
call your
though.
brother, then I can't go, I'm interested. You know, so like the
That's why
honorable
we
was
will
saying,
we would love for
yeah,
the honorable Saah Foko to come back because this is a burning issues. We all saying
yeah,
it here, but it depending on which side you are on. Because like I raised the issue here about everybody is a militant in Liberia currently. Everybody, you can call about now have 1,500 beret and jacket or vex. He going to put his own group together called an opposition protection unit. CDC too, Thomas Fada and the rest of the other fools had their own group too putting together, say, to protect the ruling party. Now, Soup and the rest of the other people too getting in the street, wearing the beret as well, and showing militancy. Everybody showing strength. So where are we? The other day
And
I said to
and
somebody,
you see,
just a
and
second,
you,
Mr. Akwe, I said to
yeah,
somebody the other day, I said
yeah.
the war came for Butu in 1989. The only reason the people were successful in bringing war to Liberia and young people took out arms to go and run behind their own brother, it was because of what? Vulnerabilities. The same thing happening right now. The young people do not have jobs. And now, if we start finding a lot of small militancy everywhere, when something spark up, all the small militancy, they are already getting guerrilla trainings. Because if I have a group right now and say, oh, this is a militant group, I'm going to insert certain training within them. So now, when something spark out, they may already believe that you have a guerrilla training to run and start looting people's houses. So this is wrong. Because our lawmakers went, now we are about to go to election 2023. You will see every group where we be right singing, we are the masses, we can't get tired. What's that?
That's an emergency. That's a state of emergency in that country. From my experience, who I work in here in intelligence and whatever in America here, I would tell you that when it comes to psychological warfare and comes to civil affairs, those are state of emergency. People don't know that part. They have been sector that I have worked with. They had drawn into crisis without even knowing that they're during crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And then when everything blew apart, there's no way to put it apart. It become late. You know what I'm saying? So just like you're talking about, it's a critical issue. It is a critical issue because people don't know that it's important. And when it comes to security in a country, you see two different something. The media and security in a country. Those are your optic.
Yeah.
Those are your optic as a government. If you can have a good relationship with the media as a government, you are doomed for failure. If you can have a protection that the citizens feel safe, you are doomed for a failure. So I don't know why this thing don't ring in the ear of those who are in government to take it as a serious issue. I'm being honest with you because I have dealt with this situation in many different parts of the world. So, like I mean, we're sitting here just talking about it. I know, like you said, it become a hype for other people. It become
Yeah.
normalized in the country where when I wear the vest and wear the beret, I prove myself to be a tough guy, to be a partisan or to be a loyalist or whatever like that. The government has to really evaluate and take this into serious consideration. And just to
Okay,
come
yes,
back to what Joshua was saying,
yeah.
go ahead, go ahead. Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
okay.
Go ahead.
Normally when I'm on my show, and I always try to see how well I can be able to remember and those far remain, and that's what I usually do. From my end here in Waterloo, but just then, so let me just look at a number of individuals who are firing on now. And from Waterloo, Jenny Titatko is watching the monitoring. Lawrence Nayene is watching. Shani Star Woolet and Emmanuel Port, Bondage Akupot, Euphemia, God is great, monitoring, and Basigia also monitoring. Yeah. No, I listened to Joshua Paul, and when Joshua, spoke. And Joshua, let me just say this, my brother. The thing is, some of us never expected Philip Logan. I want us all to just listen to this. Nobody here really expected that there would be a quick fix, that the issues in Liberia would just be, all the solutions and all the problems would just be solved in no time. No, none of us really thought like that, because we know that this country, has an aging record. This is antiquated and there were problems and the rest of it. Nobody expected that we will come to power and just begin to do those things, on a magical footing. No, we all understood that it was definitely going to take time. But after 4 years and the rest of it, people are not realizing, people are not seeing those sincere steps that should move the country towards sustained economic growth and national development. And sometimes when you talk, people tend to say that, oh, you hate the government and the rest of it. No, none. Like for me, I was never somehow to say, trying to bask at the government, even in 2 to 3 years. No, because we were all waiting to see what is it that the government definitely were going to do. This is the government that came to power even before coming to power. On a popular footing, on a popular note, Papi knows that very well. You know how many people in Liberia used to print their own T-shirt and mark behind the CDC? You know how thousands of people walk from Garnersville to Congo Town, from Painesville to Congo Town. People used to walk from all over the place and never even having time to take commercial vehicle to go to the compounds. People believe in the system, in that particular system. And somehow you really cannot you can blame the people as a result. Sometimes I say, there was this problem of leadership failure. People felt frustrated and the rest of it. Years of accumulated leadership failure. The people diverted from what? From the status quo. And they decided to go to the slum community to say, oh, we're going to select and choose one of our own. That's how we came to power. And we can't come to power and begin to shoot ourselves in the leg, to see people who are died poor, technically with nothing yesterday, building condominiums and building mansions and the rest of it. And when people begin to hammer down and speak about some of these issues, and people get angry. The situation in the country should be such that peaceful, such that people will tend to move ahead and take up a little investment. What moved the economy of other countries like Rwanda, like Nigeria, it's not government. It's the small entrepreneurs, the small businesses. Let Papi Collie get a little small water. I mean, company he wants to do it. Papi is going to employ 4 to 5 persons. But if the security there, I mean, if we're talking about, I mean, gross insecurity and people going people going to bed at night and afraid of the issue of armed robbery, even the rule of law. Look at the removal of Kabina Jane. Who investors or what investment about? I mean, hearing about that, see how this guy was booted out, complete disregard for the rule of law and callous display for justice and the rest of it. Who listening or seeing that will move their own investment into the country? If the president looks at you and say, "Oh yes, you have to be able to protect yourself," and with CC camera and the rest of it, and technically there's no cover in the country, how are we going to solve the issues? And there are some citizens definitely who can say, "Oh yeah, these are issues." The power is saying, "Yeah, there are problems, there are issues," but there are some who will not even want to admit. Early with all the education, there were issues, there were problems. And she always seems to say, "Oh yes, we'll be able to do this, we'll be able to face it. What can we able to do?" Nobody expected that there would be a quick fix solution. That we will just come to power and begin to do those things.
James, just to come in.
Yeah.
Just to come in. During the time of Mrs. Sully was willing for diaspora Liberian to come in with their idea. Yeah. But this government, the irony part of this government is that if you think you for America, they don't even want you to come around. They don't want you to come around because they feel that they have getting their lifetime career already. They don't want you to come spoil their lifetime career. And this is bad. This is bad. Doing Ellington had consultants. There are people from the United States that will go sometimes on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. They will go, like, for example, they will be situated like the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, different sector of government. They bring in their experience, their idea, their policy, so that they be able to help the country. But just say, for example, I graduated from Harvard or I graduated from Wharton University, and maybe I did
or John Hopkins University.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm going back to Liberia. A Koji or whoever feel that they have had a lifetime career employment already, they don't want you to come around. And next you say, I may not part of us. I may not understand the terrain.
Okay, Alvin Penna, you're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, I may not understand the terrain. Like, for example, you spoke about who is advising the president.
Yeah.
The current president had a very good vice president. I can say that for a fact. Very good vice president. The current vice president is a lawyer. She's a lawyer. Is this president even wanting to listen to the vice president? Absolutely, I can say no. At a certain point, she was marginalized to the extent where, for example, even a virgin.
Yeah, Papi,
so
I see Eddie, problem there.
So Eddie Harris is asking a question. Eddie Harris is asking, so is there no one from the U.S. in the government? I mean, Eddie, that's not what I think we are discussing here. Eddie Harris is asking, and whether, is there whether no one from the government? And Alvin Pennon is watching from Indianapolis, Indiana, and that's the former president, right, of the Liberian Association in Indiana, the man Alvin Pennon. Yeah, I say thank you, and you are watching, and you are watching the movie show live right out here. Yeah, Papi.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, it's if I give room for Mr. P. Honor P.
Oh, okay.
All right, Mr. P, come in.
And let me make sure this is clarified.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Emmanuel P.
Yeah. All right, I think Mr. P, your network is a little bad. Can you adjust properly? So before we take on Mr. P, let's just take a short commercial, then we'll be back.
Hey, beautiful ladies of Indianapolis. Are you looking for a beauty place where you can buy all your latest human hairs and other beauty accessories? Look no more. The MD Beauty Salon, located at 3429 Kentucky Avenue, is just that right spot for all your beauty needs. At MDs, our customers' satisfaction is our foremost priority. Our staffs are friendly and accommodating. Contact us today on 317-360-2624. MD Beauty Salon, your one-stop shop for all your beauty needs. And hey, ladies, when you get there, tell Mariette that V girl is sexy.
All right, so we have been
Man,
joined.
you that money promotion money over, man. That money that you made, you gotta share with us.
I mean, what he's thinking that we don't know that he's making money.
So we gotta share the mind.
Gotta share that mind.
That's true.
That's true. I mean, I like the innovation, man. That's great.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
We actually putting a real structure down in Magibi County, right by this hotel called, what hotel name again? MBR, Mission Beta, right before the airport. Yeah, we're getting a structure. We got a structure already going up there. So the government already issued our license. Only Ministry of Telecom supposed to give out the frequency now. Then the people from Magibi and the people from Maserati, they will be yelling all the off from here now. Will be yelling all in the ear.
Yeah, no, I mean we gotta make this thing work, man.
Yeah, because trust me.
Great job, man. Great job, brother.
Trust me, like what we've been talking about here, like Joshua Power, I know I'm about to put him in a hot seat because when we talk about militancy in Liberia, this is my serious concern because the people who are supposed to make the laws see some of the things that they can be doing. So if a lawmaker dress like this, how you expect the ordinary people to dress? If a lawmaker come out and say, this is how we will transform Liberia, the people that are making laws for us, and they are like this. So what do you expect for soup militant or student militant to do? When was the last time you saw somebody from Congress in the U.S. Congress wear beret, t-shirt, and take picture and say, yeah, we are militant, we can't get tired? Yeah, it's not possible because we as leaders have to lead by example.
Country who are
Go ahead,
especially
Manuel.
a country who are come from a civil war. You know, especially for a country who are come from a dragging civil war. You have to be sensitive to this kind of thing, you know, because people will tell you, like I said, you know, people will tell you.
Yeah, Basiki, I know you watch.
Look at where we come from.
What's up, my brother?
Do you want to go back? Do you want to go back there? We don't want to go back there, right? And make a clarification. Sometimes, like you said, it kind of misinterpret, you know, your opposition. No, it's type of opposition. Even anybody who come to me in politics, I have dealt with Baga, I have dealt with the ANC people. They know me. They know me very, very well. You know what I mean? When it comes to their meetings and whatever. But if a government official can tell you, say, my man, they even mess us, say 8047 that we don't want to come and face it. What impression would I tell you?
Yeah.
A government official telling me that. When they have me say, my man, they think like they say 8047 that we don't want to come and face it. The mindset sector in the I mean, not just in the private sector, but in the governmental sector. The official government has to have a goal and heart for Liberia. Saying it is easy to say, but are you doing it? I mean, one thing that shocked me, like, bro, there, I want to get gas, right? My car packing, I got to, it was my turn to get the gas, right? I'm packing to the gas station. One representative behind me. Do you know that the guy said that the guy went to the honorable said, my man, you gotta move your car. I gotta serve the honorable first. What does that happen on the planet Earth? It is my time to get my gas. You tell me that I should move my car because one representative behind me to get gas first before you can serve me. I mean, people using power. People misusing power.
Mr. P, that one is just common for our setting. It's
true.
Very common. It's very common. Very common. Imagine Mobile Molu riding BMW CX and then telling a colleague of mine, moonlight a trash from on the road. In fact, he got his own bodyguard telling people to move their car from on the road because the chairman coming. Who is the chairman? Who is the chairman? I said, you know what? Park the car and let that man come and hit that car.
It makes no sense. You just political party chairman. You just political party chairman. So this is the issue. So Liberia problem is, I think that problem is not anytime soon.
Like you see Joshua, Joshua said, you know, this is not squarely on George Weah. The country is 175 years old. There has been serious issues and problems, and some of us are not just saying that all of the problems today should be quick fix and that everything should just be fixed by George Weah. No, that's not what some of us are really saying. These issues accumulated as a result of bad governance. But all that some of us want to see genuine, committed steps moving forward. That's what we are interested in. We know there have been problems. Because if, for example, for me, sometimes, and you know, like I tell my son, he was born November 29. I say, my man, I will not easily celebrate your birthday. November 29 is the birthday of William Canada Shedder Tottenham. The old man sat down there, and Humphrey Bonny was facing Africa Coast and his friends and other places, but he used to be in a shape and moving around, and and having bones and smoking and having, and you know, I mean, and women on the side of the yard just moving and the rest of it. When there was an open door policy, there was an open door policy where in the country, the iron ore at the time and the GDP of the country was compared to that of Japan and other industrialized countries around the world. The old man sat on there, and when it comes to road construction, little or technically nothing was done. And he ruled the country for 27 years. Just imagine if just like, I mean, let's say 200 or 300 miles of road were going to be paved. But in 27 years time, the issue of roads we're talking about, when we think we're going to be experiencing the kind of problem. But all of those issues and problems accumulated. So when you see a government coming to power now, we're not saying we take all of the issues and all of the problems and you just put it on one person, but there should be sincere effort. And people should not try to give justifications, reasons why, oh yeah, but anything will happen during any time. No, I hate to hear that. Trust me. But when anything will happen in this time, when we come to power, it become a trade-off.
Okay.
Jean-Jacques Rousseau, in his book, The Social Contract.
Social contract theory,
when a government comes to power, it becomes a social contract.
It's true.
There's an agreement between the electorates and those being elected. That bargaining, and you know, the people elect you so that you come to power, so you tend to fulfill the promises. So you tend to improve their livelihood. That's what the people elect you for. But you can't sit there and begin to give reasons why you're not doing it because past administration did not do it. And you can't do that. So I mean, like the representative said, Liberia is not going to develop easily if, I mean, we all just sit down to do it all. No, all hands should be on deck, and that we should what? We should, I mean, raise Liberia above personal interests and biases. And that's how the country will be able to move forward. So when some of us are criticizing and looking at the government, we try to do it in a manner that is somehow balanced and fair, and we don't just say you're taking the problem, the country aging problem for 175 years and putting it on, on one person. No. Let me give the time and chance and space out to others, maybe who want to inject.
Yeah, Emmanuel coming, because I think this conversation is taking another trend, because somebody from the ruling opposition or the ruling political party right now, the Coalition for Democratic Change, might say James Akoye coming from the angle of the opposition Bouaka camp. And they were there for 12 years, they did nothing. So let's just hear for Emmanuel. Emmanuel coming because I can see from Joshua Power face. That's why that's his position right now.
I saw him dressing to the screen, and I guess.
Yeah, come here, Emmanuel.
I'm going to get yours. Yes. Okay.
Emmanuel, you good?
I
Emmanuel
want to call Power. Like
okay.
I said, Power when it comes to my party. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
You coming in broken.
Oh man, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we are.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. All right. So come in, Joshua Power. Emmanuel,
let me also remember my brother who's watching from right in Waterloo now, right now in the man Subayo Colley and a young man too. Philip, you remember just I mean during the course of the week when I told you I'm going to have you on screen here when you'll be able to talk to some Liberians here in Waterloo when it comes to leadership. We want to encourage young people to enter and move into leadership.
That's true.
Yeah, Subayo Colley is a young man here, and forceful young man, you too. Like I see him, I see you. And given the time is coming when I will put you on my screen, on my page, when you'll be able to talk to a number of Liberians here in Waterloo. Tell them about what you're doing and what they can be able to do to move the thing. Like somebody a strong, hard-working individual here. Kudos and many friends. You are welcome. A number of journalists right on the screen. Let me get a time out to Emmanuel.
Thank you so much, Mr. James. When I heard Mr. James going, when he leaving his show, only one music can come to my mind. La Babido. All right, go ahead, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just trying to. It's on the power. Power, for example, like I'm not. Let me tell you something serious. Man by nature, we're all political animals, right?
It's true.
That's fine. But I want to tell you, I don't know how long you've been in Liberia or when last you went to Liberia. One thing you yourself in your own party. So just give them a little history. I am a disenchanted citizen since 2005. I left because why?
The Emmanuel was there.
Let's talk about that topic. But what I'm saying is that your own people in your own district in Liberia. If you go there right now,
Emmanuel, you coming in broken, man. And Philip,
the man who's there as a lawmaker will say, my man, what do you want?
Yeah, send it to him.
What do you want?
Okay. Let me see. I can send a link to
for the people. The people, you're not got no political agenda, but they will honor you to the core. That's the thing about it. Oh man.
No, I can't invite him. You have to invite him.
You can invite him. I can only accept him in the studio. Anybody can invite him. The same link you receive, you can send it to anybody. They can come on. The only thing, they will be in the waiting room. I gotta put them on the screen.
Okay. Let me see there.
All right. Let me just weigh in a little bit.
Yeah.
No, gentlemen. Liberia issue is 170. Because let's just think of the 5 years that Joe have been back.
Okay.
The 170. What happened? James was just making a scenario of the former president who spent a couple of years and did not even create a role from his hometown to come to Morovia. Not even a shorter distance from Bassa to Riverses. And you want a judge to say, let there be skyscraper, and there is skyscraper. Are you guys hearing me?
Yeah, we are.
All right, because somebody was trying to call my phone and then it dropped my whole volume.
Yeah,
all right.
Now you clear.
Since you are hearing me is good. But this is my point. George Weah was highly anticipated to bring change. And in my view, he's trying his best. One of the reasons that I support this administration is for road construction. Because I work in rural area, I know what it means for people to suffer from road, to bring your produce to town. You see, you make your big garden in Nima County, you want to bring it to Morovia, you can easily cross, look at 2 or Sacred Pier to get to Ganta before even coming to Morovia. And the road in Sacred Pier is under construction. The road between Pribo and Brewaji is under construction. The road between Nimba and Zreju will be constructed under this regime. If you enter Morovia now, all the small roads in the environs of the city, they are all being constructed. School fees at all public universities are free. Wire fee. One of the easier way our young men use to hustle for all our wire fee is open and I pay my school fee, but I pay wire fee here.
Yeah.
And when the TV person eat on wire something like that, I mean, when the 4-5 person to eat wire fee. Those things have been eliminated by this government. Are we saying that this man is not doing anything? No, he's doing something. He's trying. So my thing is, if the man is doing good, let's talk about it. If he is not, let's talk about it. But you cannot wear in everything and make it look that this man is doing nothing at all. Then it is not being fair to the person who is in charge now. Because after 2023, Georgia is unfortunate, he will not be president again. There'll be a new president. So because we fought this administration, we did not want you to succeed in everything, the new person that coming, Georgia supporter will also fight and make sure that he does not succeed. Then where are we going? The Liberia is going to be in a serious problem.
And it has been the order of the day.
That is my point. I know that there are lapses. Job creation, the last time I was talking about, government should invest in the local NGOs. If you invest in the local NGO, it will create more jobs. So that's a construction company. You know, James agricultural company. All government need to do is put money into those small organizations and you monitor and evaluate their work. They may report to you on a quarterly basis. Even though they're not working for government, but it's a government implemented project. The government do that, they will release the tension. See the trash and everything in the city. A private company can we can do trash collection. Government should be able to invest into that. Electricity. Government should be able to get electricity out to private company. And then they will make sure that the money will come back to government. So those are the things we are fighting for, and creating an avenue for people to be able to work. But in all fairness, George Williams is trying, he's doing his best, because what is happening now, we never had it before. In Bapuru, a 100-bedroom hospital was constructed, functional. In Grand Judea and Rovaji and other places, people having a free housing facility. Look at beyond the sport park. That place where the beyond Canada, the people better have to wrap up it. Maybe it's in shock. They're not living modern facility. Are you saying this man is not doing anything? No, he's doing something. Even though all is not well, but he's trying. That's my point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Philip,
yeah,
Philip, I will go off the camera because somebody are calling me in my phone drive, so I can hear you.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. You can go and come back. So, I know Emmanuel have a counter to that because you were referring to him, but Emmanuel is backstage. Let me just bring him back. Emmanuel, I know you've been listening to Joshua Powell. Are you there, Eben? All right, Papi, go on.
Well, I listened to to Joshua.
Ooh, you got a little echo.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, go and come back. All right, Joshua. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you, Emmanuel.
Oh, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
You good, man? We hear you.
You are
Okay,
good.
what's up with me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are good. You are good. All right. So, Mr.
Okay.
Joshua PowerPoint
No,
here is
what Joshua
go ahead.
saying is also
Uh-huh.
true because
Uh-huh.
in term of okay, I'm not,
Philip, I think I sent a link to Subaye and he
you
might
can hear
be
me?
in. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's not in the waiting room yet.
especially when it comes to trade attention on a lot of things. Yes, we say this uh, no, you go ahead. You go ahead. You go.
All right.
But Logan, can you hear me?
Yeah, we are hearing you now. We are hearing you.
Logan, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear us?
I know he was giving some pointers, about the government. Right. Yeah, I can hear you clear. I can hear you clear.
All right, then go ahead. You just have your little delay.
Uh, I can hear you clear.
All right, so
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
you want to go out and come back because you have your
Uh,
little delay, so you can be on time with us.
okay, let me try. Let me try that again. Okay, all right.
Okay, okay. All right. So,
And let me encourage Joshua Powell,
mhm.
for the setup of this particular group, that at least that we can do it on a weekly basis or on a bi-monthly basis, I mean, to come together like this, to discuss issues of our country and be able to send out links to
Yeah,
other people. Joshua, trust me, it's part of nation building. It's part of the nation building process that we can be able to come together with diverse minds, with different backgrounds and the rest of it, that we can be able to even send links to other people to come on the show to participate. And I mean, it's better to talk it out. And others will
yeah,
have, I mean, issues on their mind, and just by listening to some of their issues, we can be able to learn from one another. Emmanuel, are
Yeah, I'm
you
here.
okay?
Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah.
Okay. Am I good now? Can you hear me right?
yeah. You are good.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, Joshua. I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with you on a lot of things you said about the development or what the efforts. The effort matters a lot. We all know in reality that the government, the funding that the government is receiving is not what the alien government received during the alien administration, right? So, but however, you always shooting yourself in the foot. You shooting yourself in the foot based on your policy, right? You're not making the country a business friendly country. So those are the issues. You know what I'm saying? You are isolating other people that you disagree with politically because maybe they're from a different political party. You are suppressing them when they want to put a development in the country. So those are the issues. You understand? So if you want to have an investment in the country, let people feel safe in the first place. You have to have the narratives that are going to make people feel safe and secure. Like I told you earlier before I went off, if you go to your district right now where you're from in Liberia and
Hmm.
start doing donation to people in that district, helping people in that district, I promise you today, you're going to be a target for whoever is in charge of that district. You know what I'm saying? So because they're going to ask you, they may want to come take my job. So we don't come on. We don't want to take people job. We don't want to help our country. You all say come help the country. Then when you go there to help the country, then you become a target for the people. And then the whole CDC thing, it is so extreme to the point where some people who are called as sedition, they are almost an extremist to the cause. CDC was not funded to be like a when you are a loyalist, when you're not a loyalist, you can be a moderate. You got to be extremist to be a sedition. That's not the point. You should have room for those who are moderate, those who have a different mind, different perspective. You're my president. I can still criticize you. Accept it. Don't target me. Don't isolate me. Those are some of the weakness of the government or even the people in the government.
You are right. You are right. All right, Papi, you are coming in and you had a little problem. That's why you slip up.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you are clear now.
All right. Thank you so much. I mean, the situation in Liberia, like I listened to Joshua. We are not squarely blaming this HO thing on Mr. Weir, but it's just about yesterday when Mr. Weir was in the opposition, people saw Mr. Weir as the problem solver. People saw Mr. Weir as a transformer. People saw Mr. Weir as the man who is about to bring redemption. People saw Mr. Weir and his CDC party as the alternative for the vast majority of the Liberian people. But it baffles the Liberian people. Upon his elections, all what he spoke, all voices they spoke against, especially Mr. Nathaniel McGill, Jefferson Kochi, Mobile Molu, everything they demonstrated about, they are all being the one that carry on the same attitude. When you talk about marginalization, they are the masters of all as we speak. When you talk about corruption, technically I can say they are the king kongs of corruption in Liberia. Why do I say so? Tell me, Mr. Joya came to power with a lot of dilapidated buildings. Let's say they have facts. A lot of dilapidated buildings. I had a privilege as to we enter his house before becoming senator. And, you know, I had a contract with CCTV. I had some of my international colleagues joining me from Al Jazeera. I mean, George Weah living room was technically my bedroom. Almost every time we're there.
And Papi,
also rest in peace.
Logan, what the boy is saying, is you know, with Star Radio, look, what the boy is saying is the fact. This was a guy in the belly, I would say he was in the belly of the beast. Papi was always with the CDC, always in a yard or in a home of Josh Weah. This Papi calling you see. Trust me.
So like Mr. Logan, entering those places in less than I was staying in Liberia 2018. In less than 2 months, when Mr. Weah got elected, the Nashville resident was completely like a shelter home for less fortunate. Like, you know, display camp. But in less than 2 months, it was broken down, brand new construction going up. His rehab resident refurbished. His smaller resident that he was building closer to his house completed. I mean, then you got a condominium on the other side. Mobile Molly and other people coming out to tell all that Mr. Weah had that money before, and they couldn't tell which of the bank the money was sitting. The quote unquote 85 million. This is what we're talking about, Mr. Powell. This is what we're talking about. Like Nat McGill. I remember Nat McGill was renting somewhere in Cinco. He could not afford a $6 rent. He was asked out. Jefferson County had to move into the Nashville residence of Mr. Weah, but they are the owner right now as we speak of condominiums in Liberia. In under 5 years. Under 5 years.
Which is Saah.
Under 5 years, they are the owners of condominiums. They are the owners of fat bank accounts. So tell me, Liberia is the owner country that, for example, the officials' salary can be determined by themselves. Mr. Jefferson Koji in a let's say, $10 million project, World Bank project. At the end of the day, technicians that were all our project, because they wasn't working with his will out to be able to get money out of the project, what he did? He removed all the people.
Let him out.
You know, he removed all the people at the end of the day just so that he can have free access to the money to buy Gucci belt, Ferrari, Ferragamo shoes, and be masquerading around. So, I mean, granted, we're not blaming Mr. Weah for coming to do quick fix of the country, but the massive looting of the country in under 5 years, it's too much, Mr. Powell. It's too much.
let me just
I don't
let me
call that
just
one
let me just respond
complete
quick,
looting.
Mr. Logan.
Mm-hmm.
So, gentlemen, um, I have not come here to defend corruption in any form because um, I live in a country that has system, and if if you receive a ticket, traffic violation ticket, they will tell you you can go home, they give you 2 weeks to go to court. If you don't go to court, the system will make you to go to court. The day another officer show up and your license is suspended, you're going to jail no matter who you are. So I'm not coming to defend any act of corruption. But let us face the fact. Oh, we agree that this government is corrupt. But it's the same president that just passed into law the anti-corruption law. If we all claim that this man is corrupt, why would he want to do such thing to himself? He said
It's
this
the
man is
same
powerful.
anti-corruption law that you referring to, like, that want to strip out the prosecutorial power out of the current leadership at the
No, it
anti-corruption.
has to. It does not skip it out.
I mean,
It
we
has
shouldn't be
to.
talking about
It gives them the right now to prosecute
legislation.
without a ministry of justice. They have prosecutorial power now. But he said this man is corrupt. So let's see if you feel that this man is corrupt. Listen, gentlemen,
Mm-hmm.
this Georgia of the president. The only thing I don't like about Liberians,
Mm-hmm.
we can believe any other thing on Google. But when it comes to Georgia information, then we don't believe.
How the poor believe Joe? We are information with Joe. We are selling. I believe in all information.
All right? They say anything you want to know, go to Google. We'll go there. But when you go to Google and Google
Okay.
information, we say, oh no, that was a lie.
No.
This man play international football. This man is the only African by far that will ever hold that title as European best.
I can go, but let me Joshua, please, I beg you. Don't do that.
All right.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
We
Please.
might jump
Joshua,
our brother Subai. Let our brother Subai introduce himself first. Then we'll come out to you, Emmanuel.
No. You might want to leave. So
Oh, Emmanuel want to leave? Okay, that's Subai introduce himself for Emmanuel.
No, that's why introduce yourself, Emmanuel. You gotta hold on a little bit. Because Joshua put me some conversation.
No. Listen. After the guy introduced, he said, you allow me to land.
Okay, you will land. You will land. Go ahead.
Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, as Akwe was saying, I mean, thank you guys for this beautiful conversation.
Oh.
I've been really following, listening holistically. I mean, Akwe is not just
No, go ahead.
So because they meant pressing me, that's why they meant to. Joshua, you need to stop, man. Yes, go ahead,
he is an academician. I mean, not only a journalist. I mean, physics and math. So I want to really tell he been keeping our community alive. Really, he put the community on fire. Whatever we are small in number, but Akwe made us large in America, not only in Iowa, in America.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
I mean, I want to thank all of you people, especially Emmanuel Pay was saying something, brother Emmanuel, that the government is doing something. I don't know. I can address some of that issue now.
Yeah. Go ahead. Make your point shortly. In 2 minutes.
Okay, let me just make it short because I mean, all government in Liberia come in power to do something. Nobody will discredit them. But the thing they're doing is it permanent that we will depend on in the future that will last forever, will make our economy boom that other country? The answer to that is no.
Yeah,
we are doing something to play around the same way other government did it to just be in power for the same 2 years. Nothing we're doing tangible that will keep us alive. I mean, we need life in Liberia. We don't have life. Tell me now, if you are not working in government in Liberia, nobody in Liberia want to boost that, oh, I'm not working in government, I've been living in Liberia, this is what I get for me. No. They have to go in government and get their pocket fat. I mean, they determine what to do. So, what can, one person can face that country? I keep telling people, it's only the president. You have to be a dictator president to face Liberia. We don't have to depend on democracy. It's not going to face us. The House of Representatives face their own budget.
Yeah.
Tell me now. How will I make my own salary? I tell you, pay me $5. Come on, man. I would never do that.
All right.
15,000 US
All right,
dollars.
all right. Let me just lay my thought.
Yeah.
Why in my head to
Yes.
the party comment. Before I lost my thought, James, this is a good platform. We can meet here, and you know why all the time
Like every week. Yeah.
yeah. I run this show every Saturday morning. It is unusual for failure to be on at this time because this show is in the evening. But if we agree on one time, at least once in a week, to just have an open mic, then we can, I can always set up the link. But listen, gentlemen, the reason why we don't know where up to now we don't know where the account is because they were investing in the foreign country, many government officials, and when they do that, by the time the US or whatever place they get ready, they just freeze that whole account and all that money go there. I hear my brother Papi talking about Jefferson Coach, how rain yesterday. Natana how rain yesterday. You were evicted. Now the building. These guys are working for at least over 5,000. What do you want him to do with his money? Papi, you and I know. Look, I have a little gentleman. He only a high school graduate in the US. That boy has maybe over 12 buildings in Liberia. He's driving truck. That man is not a college graduate. He's not doing government work, but he's building homes in Liberia. What more about this guy who working? They make it at least they put it at the rate of 5,000 because Joria said nobody will make more than 7,000 in his government. Said to be corrected. I cannot prove that fact. But this guy working for at least $5,000 a month. Do you want a man to still be living in a 2-bedroom house? Do you want him to still be living in zinc shack? What is the development? If this man cannot contribute to the economy by employing other Liberians that will be able to be constructional individual to build homes. Somebody put a picture on Facebook and they said Nathan might get build house in Bapolu. Where do you want to build a house? If I had the opportunity, I would go build my house in District number 3C. I build my build house there. When I retire, I go and sit down there. But we don't want this guy to build. We don't want him to invest because once they do that, we have a problem. Do you know what it means to be elected as a president in the country? Jati Logan even benefited that man house, hoping that he will get a contract from government. So what is that, gentlemen? Even here in the United States, people invest into campaign because they know that after the campaign, when the person wins, they will get contract from government. It happens everywhere. Why don't you want people to build homes or develop their own country?
Yeah, but they are talking about lifestyle audit. They are calling on lifestyle audit. You can't be spending more than what you have.
Yeah.
Why?
Joshua.
Okay. You see,
Joshua.
talking about
You see,
official
I
of
like
Look,
Joshua.
government.
Joshua, I like the way.
Hold on. Emmanuel can't in. Papi, hold on. The message there, rest of the time to Emmanuel.
First. First of all, let me be honest with you, right? Like I said, I'm glad we have the scholars in the house.
All right, gentlemen. Just a second, please. We have one of the successful businessmen in Indianapolis just joined up, Mr. Emmett Deborah. He owns Deborah Motors in Indiana here. So the thing we're talking about Liberia making the country enabling for investors to go down. Like this man on stage here right now, he can go back and open tons of used car areas that can help employ Liberians. But everybody in the country into meditation, we are the masses, we can get tired thinking, go. So how can Mr. Deborah go back to open used car center every part of Liberia in all the 15 counties? So I want to say welcome to the Logan's Hour, Emmett. Welcome, Deborah.
How you guys doing? How everybody doing?
What's up, big man?
Welcome.
I don't know everybody. I'm glad to be on the show and I'm honored to say that. It's all development of our country, So let the topic begin.
All right, thank you so much, Deborah. Emmanuel, come on in.
Philip, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. What Joshua was saying. Look at the level of wastefulness.
No, Mama,
I beg you. Wait.
Look at the level of wastefulness on the part
Joshua can survive between him and myself.
Wait,
Joshua will not survive. Now I just leave it. Let Maya speak.
Wait. I just come in just 1 minute. Emmanuel.
Go ahead.
Look at the level of wastefulness on the part of Minister McGill. The BBC was able to capture that particular thing about the death of his mother.
Okay.
What was that? This person dead and gone. And people cannot afford food to eat. You see how the brother was being very wasteful? And the BBC set came out to look at it was on the BBC.
Yeah.
It was on other media outlets. If a particular minister is making even $7,000, 7 times 12 is what is 84. But you guys living is 84,000. So it means if you get $84,000, everything that you get for that whole year, let's say 7,000, you say 7,000, 7 times 12 is 84. It means the particular thing costs $84,000. But then these are not business people and the rest of it. You only technically depend on your salary and things. So how you get own horse now that costs $100,000 or $200,000? Let's be real and realistic, people. And these guys are these guys are our friends. We technically know the life they lived just yesterday before they came to power. We know it. So when we're backing them or somehow supporting them, we should be very much realistic about it. And not sugarcoated and balloon and the fights. And I just thought it wise to inject that.
All right. That's
All right.
Emmanuel.
Yes, sir. Mr. Powell, let me lay out to you right now, okay? Let me lay out to you. Now remember, we always complain since we were in some of us here. They say that come up whatever. I'll tell you why I say that word, right? This government have appointed the higher number of native Liberians, like what they tell me that who didn't come from nowhere and begin in government in great positions, right? This government has done it. Georgia has done it. Okay. Number two, I see you just all the way to account. Georgia, you don't know what Georgia keep money. You don't know what Georgia hide money before he became president. You don't know that part, right? You don't know that part. It's the fact there that the brother said he went to your house when he was not president yet. He saw what he had, right? The Mangel coach you or the tour ever will know where they came from. Tour was in Minnesota. I knew him personally. I knew Akaras Gray personally. I know the guys, right? All of a sudden, this guy who auditing talking about that girl. For example, Akaras Gray had a wedding at the face of Paris. Do you know how much that cost? Do you know how much that cost? To have a went over there.
60,000 according to you.
What does that give? So what I'm saying is that nobody, because we say you jealous of them. Nobody jealous. We're talking about what?
Papi, Logan, where you are even more expensive than the Akara Gray wedding.
I'm not in government.
This man, Logan wedding. Wedding was more expensive than Akara Gray wedding.
I'm not in government. I work for a private institution.
Hey, private money he used. Okay, so let me take you from there to take you to Ghana. Let me tell you what Jerry Roden did when Jerry Roden became president. Mm-hmm. One of his guys he appointed called it GSA in Liberia. Right? He put it in charge of GSA. Right? He was the director. Mm-hmm. This is a guy that led a troop to free Jerry Roden when he was in jail to be executed. This guy led a group of people to free Jerry Roden from that jail. Jerry Roden made GSA director. Those who live in Ghana will know that story. From Kodoka Airport, there's a hotel there right now. There's a hotel. Within 6 months, the guy started building the hotel. I mean, I think Roden went there, the guy got done with the house. Roden called Roden said, my man, I know how much I pay you. I'm giving you 2 months to tell me where you got the money from to pay the house. He thought that was a joke. He thought Roden was joking. When the 2 months passed, Roden called him back. Roden said, my man, I call you. Where you got the money for the building to pay the water? Oh, boy. I thought you would pay me. No. He said, you don't get the paper right now. That's hard for the government. Roden went there, put lock on the house and said they have for the government. And sent a man to the southern region to spare agricultural development.
Okay.
When Roden did that in Ghana, Everybody fall in line. Everybody fall in line. If they make a do that, the man who rescued him from being killed, if they make a do that to him, what's about me? You send that message. We got Sematue. We got Mangil. All they got to do is corrupt activities in Liberia. I don't care whether they will open the ring for you, they will bury for you, they will suit for you, and march for you. You have to set an example. That's what Joe we don't have. You don't have the guts to be a leader to make critical decisions. You don't have that. He kept all the guys in power who are expecting the country and reward them. So you want to have a good government and you don't make that decision, the government will not gonna go. That's my point I want to make to you.
All right, because Deborah is driving, and I know he will not be with us for long. So let's just give him a chance to come in from the business school perspective as to how he see Liberia today. And looking at business school, I want to go back and invest into Liberia. Mr. Deborah, how do you see the current situation in Liberia today, and what do you make of our Liberia today since he left Liberia and the Liberia you can see on Facebook today? What do you make of it in terms of a business school perspective?
You know, this is why I always tell everybody, anytime I get an opportunity, my idea about our country. What is government does not build the country. Government does not develop the country.
Thank you, my brother.
Is built. So I
my driver internet is bad.
He's driving. That's why.
Where the government can do what the government can do. We, the citizens, if we learn how to follow rules and regulations, we learn how to not take shortcut. If you know, say you're building a house or you're a businessman and you're going to Liberia to open business, you go to pay your money to the ministry you need to pay. You stay on the line, you wait for your time, and you follow the rules and regulations. And I try to say, oh, because I know the minister, so maybe let's small thing here, because that small thing you give it to now, and then another part that the government that our country get problem. If you don't pay the employee the right amount of money you need to pay, they will. Simple mathematics. Our problem is very simple. You take care of the government employee for that reason. If his best friend do something or his best friend not following the rules and regulations, you will not jeopardize his pay and his job for his best friend. You get civil servant not taking pay. They get this small thing. You give minister $15,000. Okay. That minister knows that he's making $15,000 or more. Let him make one mistake. Let him get problem. The government will fire him. So that man will not jeopardize his job for corruption. Now, on a business perspective, I was just talking to the former police director, and I talked to some of my friends then over there. Even my mom. My mom friendly with the president. My mom, the president, almost maybe 1 or 2 times a month. I don't get involved with my own mom and the president business inside. I'm a businessman. My thing is, how will we carry business to Liberia? I'm running $1 million company in the United States. And you understand? I giving back to Indiana because every car I sell in a month time we make $200,000-$300,000. We have to pay taxes. The taxes we pay to develop the state. Now, if I want to take this thing to go to Liberia, I'm scared. I'm scared as hell. Because the first thing in my mind, the minister over there not making money. The people to the Freeport not making money. If the people were paying good, you have to invest for you to be able to get. So the government need to invest, which means they need to pay the civil servants good. They need to pay the employee them good. So like that, when somebody go in the country to do business or something, there can be no corruption. They can't talking from a business perspective because as a businessman, I have to go buy a machinery. I have to buy my car, take my car, bring it to the dealership, sell it, and get profit. It's the same thing running as a government. That's just my little opinion.
Thank you so much, my dear brother. Thank you so much. So, from the business perspective, though the man throws on some low jobs, the opposition and Joshua Power there. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my
Yeah,
brother.
yeah. The man is open minded. Listen, look, listen. The issue about Liberia is system. If
Uh-huh.
we work on the system, the man was just telling you right now that if you pay a policeman, at least the least officer will make $500. That
Mhm.
man don't want to sabotage his job. You don't want
No,
to get there and say, "Oh, my man,"
Wait, let me
because you know that you will lose that 500.
come
So
in small.
let me just respond to my cousin Rick's Basigia, who said you guys are
All right.
building.
So before you respond to Risk Basic guy, we just tend to Mr. Akwe to just read a few of the comments there, then we can come back to you.
Yeah, and I will take Rich Basigia comment or just do
Okay.
an analysis of Rich Basigia's own comment.
Okay.
Basigia is saying, I mean, if a minister is earning like $5,000, and if we multiply 5 times 2 of 60 and $60,000 in 5 years, that man is going to get around 300,000 in 5 years. But then you see these guys owning properties worth even more than three. I mean, even
because
more
the
than
people steal
300,000,
it.
even more than $300,000.
Because they
You
steal
know,
it.
my brother earlier said that he has not come here to defend, people, corruption and the rest of it.
Right,
That's what
right.
Joshua said. But
So so
this. I'm coming. I'm
right.
coming. This is a glaring example of a bad and terrible, corruption. Get
Mhm.
5,000. So I mean, in 5 years, it will be 5 years. But then these guys came to power in less than a year or two. What they started earning, was even more than things that they should have been having maybe 4 or 5 years when they're keeping all of their salaries and not really using it and the rest of it. That's what Basigia is saying. This is scaring and this is bad and
Akwe,
very corruption.
Akwe, let me
One,
just come in.
two,
Let me
I'm
just
coming.
come in
I'm
with
coming.
that. Let,
Let me just
let me
read it.
just.
The businessman, my brother was saying something.
Mm-hmm.
It is the government that should lay down the foundation for the framework of the development of the country. Here in the US, we all agree with system. The foundation is being laid down by the government.
A
Look
point of
here.
correction, and
I
I
mean,
got you also.
I
I
come.
didn't mean it. I didn't mean the government. I mean
Yeah,
we the people.
yeah, but
We
it
the
should be.
people.
Yeah, we are coming now. That framework. That framework. Look at the government. Look at the government like one formula. Before you solve a quadratic equation, you know what you do? You
Mm-mm.
need a particular formula. You
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
if you want to find the center of mass of a particular object,
Yeah.
you need a formula to be able to solve that particular thing to find the CM that has to do with the center of mass or gravity of a particular object and rest of it. So we're talking about what? That system, that framework that you're going to use to arrive at what? At that particular answer. Do we have our government, laying down the framework, to move the country forward? Of course, I said no. The government is not setting the example. The government is not putting into place in the system. And I'm not just blaming that alone on the we are government. This has been system failure and for more than 100 years, even from
Wow.
those who came over
There
from
you.
the US who should have set up the system and the rest of it. I'm not just looking at George Weah, but George Weah is technically adding and making everything just worse. Worse. That's what we're seeing. And we expect that this government, with all the young and fresh minds, look at me, Dr. James Colley. James Colley, that's a brilliant young man from Bapolu. Trust me. And why is it that some of these individuals are leaving and and these tender class and the rest of it are leaving? It's because this government under WIA does not really listen to advice. They want to do whatever they want to do. The guys are quickly making themselves very rich, and that's why they are much more interested in. And the country is sinking, terribly sinking badly, and we need to save this country. That's why
Okay.
some of us. That's why some of us try to encourage Liberians back home, and they're 20 ahead of 2023. Let's make the residing decision that will be able to move this country forward. We called on opposition leaders to come together, to work together like the raw the fascists, to be one, so that we go to that poll with one arrowhead and be able to defeat a particular candidate, and that
All right.
candidate, yeah. If we
Philip,
don't
Philip,
do
Philip,
that, it's going to be
Okay.
can I come
bad.
in a little
It's
bit?
going to be terrible for our country, and we will
Uh-huh.
sit there and complain. Let me say,
All right.
kudos.
But
Come in
it's not a party comment
yeah.
here.
But
No,
see,
it's
It's
not your
not a
party
party
promise,
comment.
but
Yeah, it's not a party comment. Let me say
yeah.
many
that's where we
thanks to
get
all of
private
those
as
who
a
are watching,
Liberian.
monitoring me now from Waterloo, right here in Iowa. I always love to remember those watching me. I see Cole, Gloria, Foko, Mamba, you are watching. I see Basigia, you are watching and monitoring right now. Alvin Penner,
Come here.
you are
We need your
watching.
tummy.
And I say we plan
Yeah.
to see how well we can be able to make this thing, regular or
Yeah.
monthly.
Ali, we can do it. We can do it every Saturday morning. We can
Yeah,
pick one
no problem. So we'll
representative
be
and
able to meet
discuss
and
the pros and
discuss
the
issues,
cons.
and
Philip,
and
Philip,
everything,
I
All
want
right.
to come in.
yeah,
I got a
so
point.
let me end here,
Okay. Yeah. I may come in
and
right
give
away.
my brother Zubai and other chance who
All right.
want
So
to come in,
we will go back to Deborah for his rebuttal. Then we'll go back. Then we'll go to
Yeah,
Subara.
yeah. Now,
yeah, I don't know whether I will have much time to be with you,
No,
but at least,
we got 15 more minutes here.
now,
Go ahead, Deborah.
in America, yeah, you see, we know that when a candidate running, we get Walmart will support that candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon will support that candidate. Target will support that candidate. When that person win, guess what they do? Now the company that support that candidate to win, now that fee,
Yeah.
they will get a my back.
Mm-hmm.
So now the person that running will say, okay, Walmart can say, okay, listen, I want to support you, Body. Body will say, yeah, you support me when I win. I want you to build 20 Walmart in the project. Then, then Walmart will say, okay, but then you will give me a tax break. Now, real life story, I'm telling you, this is what happened in the money war.
Yeah.
Now, that 20 Walmart, that Walmart going to build in a project, guess who benefiting and who getting developed? The country.
The common people. Yeah.
The poor people, it will create jobs. People will be able to take care of their family. And you understand? Now,
Mm-hmm.
the minister that are responsible for that particular project, he can jeopardize it. America, yeah, minister they're making, but government official making 200,000-300,000. How much $5,000 somebody will be making things in the person when I see? It don't make so the government is not a problem. Even we bring new government will be the same thing. Send nothing fit the whatever that will be completely but God, we complain on tower, we complain
Mm-hmm.
on two, we complain on Tomo, we complain on Chatino, we complain on Jowia, we complain on any justice Sally to show government and not a problem. And we don't want a problem. Arrest my kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Zubai.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody here, I think we are all saying the same thing. But what I would really like for the government of Liberia is doing that is everybody that came in that government, nobody know what they have in their cover before coming to government. Nobody know. So declare your asset is very important. So if I come in government, I declare my asset, you know that I got a million. If I just come today and say I bury my house, you'll say, oh yeah, he got his million, and I will be you because I show it to you. But everybody came to government, nothing before less than a week or more, we start seeing a lot of building going up, a lot of things going up. I mean, it raised alarm. And again, in the country of Liberia, the business people are not secure.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, no rule of law. Come on, how will police people be? Can you when I went to Liberia 2020, I was in Liberia. I carry a car in Liberia. To free the car, they gave me the sheet to free it from Freeport at 3,000. Okay, because it was I did not hesitate. I got the money. I went to Freeport to go pay my money. I stood on the line. I reached the man tell me said only 3,000 you get. I said, but I want on the paper that the receipt he gave me. I said, equally tax, everything is here. Like I swear, say I should leave the land. I left the land. I don't know, but then the other guy said, oh, you got to look for small thing. I said, no, I don't look for small thing. The paper you gave me, that this paper I'm going to pay with. If you cost my car to the I will leave here. So I left. I left my car. I went back home. The next day, one of the men is the director. He called by. He said, "Oh, you ready for your car?" I said, "I'm ready for my car." I get your 3,000 with your receipt. You gave me. They can get your envelope with a total number on it, money on it that you need to pay. I carried this thing to the guy. The guy called me. The same guy that collected. He called me. Oh, my man, give me $100. I said, "But my man, are you not getting paid?" He said, "I get it paid." I said, "But why were you asking for money?" And this is the money you charge me. Other people came here, you charge them 1,000 something, 2,000 something. You charge me 3,000 because I truck. Okay, I bought a 3,000 Hazard. So I don't get no money. The only thing I can do for you, I can give you $20. My man, for that thing, I went back home because I never need a system like, oh, you gotta get a man money before you can get out, even you get Hazard money. I thought it was just fair game that we were going to play. But from there, even on the street, I met a police car. I gave him a shoe, shot forever. Can you imagine when the policeman see me, he can stop all the other cars for my car to pass. Then I'm a president. I gotta get out. I gotta get out there and say, my man, I saw your shoe. Oh, I gave you the shoe. It don't mean that when I come here, I'm above the law. Let's do what is right. Don't see my car and make all eyes on me, be stopping all our people car. No, I'm on the line. I'm behind the car. Let them go the way I'm going. I will go. I'll be fine. The policeman is shit.
All right, so Mr. Subai, so what do you make of this, your comment here? You posted this, you say the government is doing something, we agree, but the things they are doing is what we need? The answer is no. We can feed ourselves, and we have the land to be able to invest in large rice farmers in all counties. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, because my brother, our main problem, our main source of food is rice.
Okay.
If we can get rice farm, if I be president for Liberia, which if it happens, I will invest in agriculture, rice farming, that we able to feed ourselves in the whole 50 country. That will employ people. Those that are working there will be from the same county. The entire 50 county will be employed in their own farm. Every county will be able to feed themselves before it comes to Monserrato. If we can feed ourselves, believe me, development will be easy. And we can secure ourselves. We got good security. Investor, we don't need to call them. Because the man, when you bring your son in there, I go take it, I got to pay. If I don't pay, I'm not minister business. But somebody can go over the first thing before you register a business, you got to pass through 3, 4, 5 ministers with a lot of money. So before you come from there, you all are 2, 3 million from your business money. Why are you going to invest? No security. We get security and feed ourselves. Liberia problem is solved. We don't need to worry about development. It will come by itself.
All right. Thank you so much. So we'll go to Papi Collie. So Papi, what we're going to do now, because we already gone 2 hours and 51 minutes, and we would just ask everybody for the parting. So we'll just do 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes each. Go ahead, Papi. You are muted. Unmute yourself first. Papi, go ahead. All right. So what Papi trying to unmute is, if we can get Papi, let's go to Zubai. Zubai, give your parting in 2 minutes, then we'll go back to Papi. Papi, go ahead and come back so you can get your parting quick. All right. Zubai, are you there? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So just give us your parting comment in 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, my man. What I can do, I mean, just thank you people for this platform. I usually follow Akweso when he was on. The alarm came to me, and I just started watching it. I really enjoyed the show. The topic is not too political. It's how we can move the country forward. This is the kind of topic that I like to be part of. So, I mean, I love the show, and I will keep following.
Thank you so much, Papi. So Saturday, Joshua Power, myself, and Mr. Akwe, we were planning something. At least every Saturday, we can have a joint collabo, and let's talk about issues confronting Liberia. But thank you so much for following us today. We really do appreciate you. Thank you, Papi. Let me say thank you, Papi. Say thank you, Mr. Collie. All right, so let's go to Papi. Papi, you don't get back to your real color now.
Yeah, I was using my computer. I was using my computer, and
I see why it was a little darker. Yeah. So let's just go back to you and get our parting. But we would love to have you here. Maybe we'll plan it. James Akwe, myself, and Joshua Power. At least Saturday morning we can have these kind of heated conversations. you as well part of the conversation. We can invite other people. We can specifically try to pick a lawmaker. Maybe for that week we can say tomorrow we'll be discussing this person. Or we'll go and do research on that person and come and give the negative side, the positive side, and the work they are doing. So at least that shows some highlight on our people back home too. And hopefully in the future, I want us to discuss district number 8. Mr. Akara's grave, because I have somebody in my district here. He's the former president of the Liberia Association of Indiana, Mr. Ivan Penner, will be going to district number 8, and he will be contesting against Mr. Akara Gray. So we can first of all grab the two candidates, scrutinize them, put Ivan Penner on a pedestal, know his pros and know his cons, grab Akara Gray and see why Ivan Penner will be the better candidate to replace Mr. Gray, or why Mr. Gray should retain his seat. Yeah,
but
go
Mr.
ahead.
Gray, Logan, Mr. Gray does not live within the district. How can the man say he want to recontest? It'll be another debate.
My man, that's another argument.
For another day, because Joshua will come strong on that one. I can rest assured. All right, Papi. Let's just get your party.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, I'm grateful. Thanks to Mr. Powell for the invite, and I hope this exchange can be something that can be continuous, especially a roadmap for us, like a road to 2023. We can design something that will make ourselves available so that we can keep talking about it. They got all the network. I mean, we can start this. Who knows when the licensing process completed in Morovia, when we start to hit all over Margibi and Monserrato, this is a platform. At the end of the day, we're bringing all of our technical support and our technical ideas just so that we can be able to widen this. But the key message here is corruption should be minimized. I know it cannot be how you call it, you cannot eradicate, but however, there should be, I mean, the leadership that is governing right now, they should, I mean, take key to this. I mean, I respect every one of them. Mr. Jefferson Koji, very good friend. Not somebody who will say, who is this? No, even the president, to the extent the president, this is somebody that I myself, we interacted, we moved to places, we went to places at the end of the day. But with the level of governance, I know power change people. But however, Mr. President, it's just for you to do the best for the people of Liberia. And I mean, under no circumstances that Mr. Powell can't tell me that because somebody making 5,000, so I mean, in less than 1 year they are qualified to get 300,000 in their bank account. That is so unbelievable, and it's unacceptable. So at the end of the day, Liberia first, Liberia last, and all we can do here, no matter you can get all the position in the diaspora, you need to domesticate it within your system so that our country can be better. And some of us were willing to go and contribute our quota to the country that we love, that we cannot be deported from. You can get all the sophistication here, but tomorrow, the leadership here can decide, say, okay, you know what, we scrape you off for the citizenship, they send you back to your country, and the place they're going to send you, you cannot be deported from that. So all we can do is to keep talking about it, fix it, and avoid things that will bring negative vibes at the end of the day for the betterment of Mama Liberia. Peace out.
Thank you so much, my dear brother. Thank you so much, Papi. So we look forward to having any kind of spiritual conversation at least every Saturday morning. Let's just brand it up and we can go about our Saturdays. Thank you so much, my dear brother.
Yeah, warm me up, man. And, you know, the other people can go play soccer and we
yeah. That's a brilliant one. But we will work on that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Thank you, Papi. Thank you. Mr. Powell, there you go.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a good conversation. We thank our viewer and fans and friends for coming out. You know, let's just keep it up. Let's keep on doing it. The more we do it, the more interesting it will become, and people can come on. You know, but like I said, I've not come to defend any government official. I've not come to defend any corrupt act. I just want us to discuss the issue and what is more relevant to Liberia. And you know, Liberia first, Liberia last. Liberia is the only country I cannot be deported from. And as such, we will always talk about it. Thank you, every one of you, for coming on and watching our show. Join the conversation, join the looking hours. We are just here to bring you information. Share it out. If you like it, you buy. If you don't like it, you know, leave it. That's what we do. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much, my dear brother Powell. Thank you so much. We look forward to having a conversation beyond door and see what we can do for our Saturday morning warming up. That we can invite all of our guys and we can put a specific person on the microscope and see how we scrutinize and tell the good one, the bad one as well.
Thank you.
All right. So that was the voice of my dear brother and friend, Honorable J. Joshua K. Powell. He's the vice president of the United Basa Association in the Americas. And we're in conversation this morning with the honorable man, Honorable Frank Saah Foko. But he had other engagements. A lot of Liberians show up to where he were at the time, and they were engaging him, so he couldn't be on the platform and be talking to a lot of people as well. So he begged to leave, or he asked that he were to come back, but somebody unforeseen circumstances always come up. We are all human. But I want to say to all of those who follow us here tonight, or today, sorry, our broadcast in the evening, so I always say tonight. But if you're in other countries that at night for you, then I'm right. But if you're in places that it is a day, then I'm wrong. But I want to say thanks to every one of you who follow us tonight. We have tons of comments here that we are unable to read right now because it's already after 12:23, and thanks to Mr. Akwe, thanks to Deborah Emmett, and thanks to all of those who make it on here, Papi, both Papi and Zubaye, and my man Emmanuel, and J. Joshua K. Power, who make this possible. We want to do this at least every Saturday morning. It's going to be better for our democracy and our people who follow us. Well, got to spice it up, make it more interesting. But yet and stay, if you're following us as well on Saturday when we are having these conversations, if you feel you are you know the issues and you know more about what is happening in Liberia, we'll also send you the link. You can just come in the comment section and say, send me the link. We'll send you the link. You're going to join the conversation. And let's make it hard, because we want people from all walks of life. You could be from the ruling party, you could be from the opposition, you could be from the no position. What matter is Liberia first and Liberia last. So thanks to everyone who followed us today. We really do appreciate you. Okay, Emmanuel Pacado get his parting. All right, Emmanuel, we were just on parting now, so we just want you to give your parting.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad, Tim. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right. Look, man, first of all, I want to say thanks so much for you guys for organizing this particular meeting today or conversation. We need this. We need it because especially in our community, people don't understand the different aspect of how our country, Liberia, have to come together. One piece cannot be, we're like a puzzle.
Yeah.
One piece cannot be eliminated. Whether we opposition, you independent, or you are ruling party, we need to find a common ground to come together. And I'm ready encouraged today. I hope we can keep this up. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, my dear brother. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. So that was Emmanuel Pay. So he was part of the conversation. He was one of the studio panelists. He been a little busy going off and on, but I'm glad he was able to come back to give his parting. And we, like he said, we will try to make this at least every week, at least Saturday morning. We all can come here and flex our political muscles. And some of you in opposition, some of you in ruling position, some of you in no position. We really don't want to say that we will try to please anybody. We will please Liberia, because Liberia is all we have. Liberia first and Liberia last. So with that being said, we want to say thank you for joining the show. Thanks for being on the Logan's Hour. And today's Saturday, go about, do your normal Saturday routine, and peace, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.